Lying here in darkness, wedding cake fills my lips, screams I see in silence vanish when it hits. I hear them echo through the night. Eyes doubt to find the source, leaves another whisper to set me on my course. I feel the pain rise up from deep. I gasp and push it down. I brace myself to face a wave. It crashes and I drown. I float in empty nothing. My heart and mind are gone, searching through the blackness for where I venture on. I give thanks when I wake up, when I go to sleep. I give thanks when the sun is high and when I'm counting sheep. Thank you for the love you gave me. Thank you for the pain. Thank you for the sun still shining. Thank you for the rain. Thank you for the life you gave me. Thank you from my core. Thank you from your loyal servant. Thanks again once more. Thanks again once more. Eternal empty nothingness, adrift in pity's depths. Were me the cries from all around society's pity nets. Blame and judgment endlessly, it isn't me, it's them. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, rising never end. I hear a voice come from the deep, roaming loud and clear. You have the strength, just look inside. No pills or lies in here. Grace the warmth, the yellow glow, caressed here by the fire. I want to stay eternally immersed in my desires. Immersed in my desires. I give thanks when I wake up, when I go to sleep. I give thanks when the sun is high and when I'm counting sheep. Thank you for the love you gave me. Thank you for the pain. Thank you for the sun still shining. Thank you for the rain. Thank you for the life you gave me. Thank you from my core. Thank you from your loyal servant. Thanks again once more. Thanks again once more. The voice again, it booms to me. In here you cannot stay. You have some obstacles to face, and then you'll have your day. I come too cold and shaking, hair stuck against my face. The fire ignites from deep inside to fuel me for my race. I stand up straight, my shoulders back. I feel it now, the wind. I push off hard into its force, this sinner who has sinned. Forgiven now of my old deeds, my mind now clear and sober. Now purpose strides towards the sun. This story is not over. This story is not over. I give thanks when I wake up, when I go to sleep. Give thanks when the sun is high and when I'm counting sheep. Thank you for the love you gave me. Thank you for the pain. Thank you for the sun still shining. Thank you for the rain. Thank you for the life you gave me. Thank you from my core. Thank you from your loyal servant. Thanks again once more. Thanks again.
Ice is coming up the street and the chimes are going. And I'm jogging up the back lane. This Ice is going up the street, up to the back window, bang, crash the back window and all the glass goes flying in. Bang, smash the lead with a hammer. Whatever it is, I wake up in this boot of motor and all blood and all that. And next time I tied up, I'm in a chair. And she said, just that they're coming along the road, they get the people from the next arms, phoned them and said to them, look, get the gringo. These guys are coming to kidnap him. They're coming along. There's paramilitaries with machine guns and that, all with their gear. They're coming along to get us. So he's grabbing my bags. I'm like, where's that pump? I'm trying to get shells into this pump. And then I got on a flight to Miami. Land in Miami, I just hear this voice shouting, everybody get down, everybody sit down, get your seats and sit. Fuck. I don't know if he said sit the fuck down right now, but he was shouting. And I'm just sitting there. And about 20 minutes later, this voice just starts speaking to me loud and clear, like the voice of my granda. And he said, you need another cup. Bang, just takes me out my body. Takes me out my body and brings me to this, say a road, say it's like this here. And down that way, I look down there and it shows you my life, shows you this chaos, just madness, violence, all the shit, jail, everything. I'm looking down that way. And I look up this way, it shows me this life. Travelling about the world, helping people, guiding people, creating different things for the benefit of everybody. He says to me, what life do you want? I went, that one. He went, tough, you can't get that.
The bad guru himself, Paul Tait, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jim. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's a great honour to have you in the studio. An incredible life story. I've actually been trying to get you for over a year now, but you're like a bit of a ghost. I know you've been on your travels. So where have you been? I've been, as I say, trying to get you in here.
Where have I been? I was in, before Christmas, I was travelling. Well, you were trying to get me through the whole summer, but I was travelling around Scotland in a camper van with Rocky. I done a tour. I started at the Schiehallion Mountain in Perthshire, and then I travelled all the way down around Scotland. I was staying with a Sikh warrior tribe as well, down in just outside London. This is a guru that comes from the Punjab in India. He comes and he does a spell in the UK every year. A couple of years ago he came and he stayed up the farm with us, and he gave me my mantra for God to come to me. This is one of the guys that gave me the name Bad Guru. Where else have I been? Travel about everywhere, all over Europe, Asia, and I went to Chile. I travelled across Chile with a shaman. I've been working with this guy for about 4 or 5 years, and he just called me up and he said to me, brother, you're ready for the next stage of your training. So he said, make a couple of weeks available and head to Chile. So I headed to Chile. I travelled across, done into the Andes, done some ceremonies, with medicines, psychedelic medicines, and then we travelled down in the last through ancient volcanoes, ancient forests, having to sit out all night, do ceremonies in the pouring rain, stay out there all night, no fire, no nothing, and put me through real torture, put me through, let me go deep into my psyche and understand the person I am and really reveal all the bad traits that you still got. Even though I've been doing this for a long time, we still always get work to do. Every single person's got stuff inside that I'm not too happy with, so I have to delve into that. And on the last ceremony, I'd eat a big pile of mushrooms about this size, and I met the devil and I met God. And after that, and I come back and I decided to, after that then I come back and it was Christmas time, and then I was in Thailand. Then I travelled to Thailand. I was in 2 months in Thailand. I'm studying Chinese medicine, so I was working in a practice with a Chinese doctor. I've wrote a programme that cures any mental health illness. It's going to cure the mental health epidemic in the West. I understand about the human mind because I've explored my mind through psychedelics, through retreats, through cold water, ice water. Any practice you can think where you put yourself through pain and put yourself through discomfort to learn and grow. And I've done majority of them. So after I've written the programme, then I have to understand, because there's energy inside the human body. So the mind controls First universal law is the law of mentalism. The universe is mental, the all is mind. So most of the pathologies in your body are created by your mind. Places where cancer develops, all different things like that. The mind is a huge part of it. But also there's energies in the body. If there's in your organs, if there's energy not flowing right, and I can put energy in, or the balance of the elements inside the body. So I'm trying to study this as well, so that I can heal any human being on the planet. No right now, but with the mind, with the program, and then with the Chinese medicine.
It's so powerful. Because I've also experienced your healing powers, your retreat. We'll get into that later on. But it's such an incredible life story, because all that stuff that you just rhymed off there, such a transformation, because the chaotic lifestyle that you led previously, being a gangster, being mixed up with some of the most dangerous people in the world. So it's going to be so interesting to go through this story. I've never seen such a change in any human being that brings so much light from so much pain and so much darkness. So it's very powerful. So I'll now take you back to like your early memories, your first chapter as a kid, really.
I remember as a child I was always scared, because I learned violence in the home. My dad, like everybody in Glasgow, if you were bad when we were younger, you would get a doing. My dad hated me. He told me he hated me. I went to see him a couple of years ago and apologised for all the bad things I'd done, and he just told me, he said, I hate you. He said, I've always hated you. Hated you since you're a wee boy. That makes sense about getting a doing, and then I would get punished. My punishment was to go in the lorry with my dad. So my brother loved him. My brother thought my dad was the best thing ever, because he just worshipped everything that he'd done. But I didn't. I had a different mind, and I liked going out playing and causing trouble and doing different things. So I was always getting into trouble and getting a doing. But I remember the first time, because I always remember I lived with fear. I lived with this feeling inside, anxiety all the time, this feeling in my stomach, always scared. So I never stayed in the house. As soon as I could go out in the morning, I would go out and I would play all day. I would only come back in for my dinner. My dad was in, I would just avoid the house altogether. Imagine, you ever been bit with a dog?
Yes.
Imagine being bit with a dog, and then you have to go and live in the kennel with that dog, and you don't know when it's going to bite you. Sometimes it's all right, but sometimes it bites you. And if you've been bit with a dog, it's no nice. I've had loads of violence in my life, and I don't like getting it.
And this is the first memories you have?
The earliest.
I feel like age 3 and 4?
The earliest, I went back in my mind and doing a meditation, because I do loads of practices, and then I can access parts of my mind and my memory. And I went and I said one time, I said, when did the fear get put into me? Because I lived in fear all my life. The only time now, I still live with fear. Everybody gets fear, but it's about how you let that control you and how it feels. But I done a meditation, and I just remember I was a wee boy in a buggy, and I remember the sun was shining, and I remember my dad's face. I don't know what I was doing. I was always a bad wee boy. And whatever I'd done, and I just remember his face coming across the front of the buggy, and he must have had long hair, because I could see the sun shining through, and his face was angry, and he was red. And I remember he just slapped me in the thigh. But the shockwave went through my body, and then this pain into my mind, and just screaming, wondering what the fuck just happened there. And this vibrate, this heat all coming through my body. And that's where I remember the fear came into me, because then I was always wary about this guy all the time. And then the punishments for me, my dad was a lorry driver, the punishments for me was to go in the lorry with this guy. He'd be driving up and down the country, and he wouldn't let you out for a piss or nothing, so you'd have to piss into bottles. And you'd be kneeling up, trying to piss into a bottle in a lorry, and going to bumps and all that. You fucking spill that, you're fucking getting it. So that was the earliest memories, and I remember when I was a young kid getting bullied off a lassie in the street as well. And she used to take stuff off me. We used to play marbles. There was a couple of lassies, and my mum would always say, you can't hit girls, you can't hit girls. I'm like, fucking hell, they're pulling my hair, they're doing this, they're stealing my stuff. So this lassie stole one of my marbles one day, and I went round the backs, and she stayed in the bottom flat, and she was at the window last with the marble, and I just got was a can of beans, an old can of beans at the backs in Faithfully. There was bins everywhere and people just throw stuff at the windies and just into this wee back lane. And I got a tin of beans and I just banged it right through the windy. And I remember the satisfaction. But see, when I heard the windy crash, I loved the sound. And her. And there and a tin of beans just flying through. She wasn't showing me the marble then. And then another lassie that she used to pull my hair and day stuff to me, slap me and that. And my mum said to me, you don't ever hit girls, you don't ever hit girls. But I was in the mirror one day and I went in and told my mum, she's hitting me and she said, you can't do anything. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, you need to do something about this. So I was just looking at myself. My dad used to always say to me, go and take a look at yourself, go and take a look at yourself. So I used to look in the mirror when he'd say this. I think, well, what's he trying to get me to look at? And I was in the mirror this day and said, what are you going to do here? Oh, you can't get doing in the house and then get doing outside the house. Doing everywhere you go. So you need to toughen up here. So I took a breath and said 1, 2, 3 and I just punched the wee lassie right in the face. And that was that, no more bullying. So I understood, because I didn't like getting punched in the face. I didn't like getting hit at all. And nobody likes getting hit, especially on the face. So I started to learn. People don't like getting hit in the face. So if you're going to fight somebody, make sure you hit them in the face.
I know you were also very young. You told me a story. You were admitted to hospital with panic attacks.
I had respiratory problems when I was a young kid. I was in the hospital, took in an ambulance a few times. These are the issues that people have when you're in fear, you're in fight or flight mode. I only understand now that I was in fight or flight mode my whole life. Only until I can do these practices that change myself from fight or flight into homeostasis, that I understand how much stress I was under every single day, and then the chaos inside my life, and then all the madness that happened in my life. But it was always just chaos, just constant chaos, and I love chaos. I just got used to it, and that was how my life was.
I think because you're born into that.
Aye.
So that's all you know. So you become that.
Yeah.
And then you start to become the best at it. But before we move away from the young childhood stories, that you told me a story you also went and stole a book. Your mum made you take it back.
That was my first ever crime. First ever crime. When I was a young kid, I've got an older brother. I've got 3 brothers and a sister. I had an amazing childhood. My childhood was great. We lived in Faithfully, so there was hills right beside us. There was a farm right beside us. There was a place called the Alkies where these alcoholics would go, like a retreat place. And I just had fun. There's millions of kids all lived there. I had such an amazing childhood. When my brother went to school, I wanted to go to school as well, so he would come back with books and wee words tin and that, and I would take them and I would go away in and I would listen to what he was saying. My mum was doing with him when he came home. My mum said, I just came out one day and you were 3 years old and you could read the books, and I just started reading everything. I love reading. I read tons and tons, read thousands and thousands of books. When I was in jail, I just read books, done courses, done everything. So when I was 3, I was done in fine fare or something, and I wanted this book. My mum said no, and I just stole it, and that was it. So
you caught?
I got caught. She made me take it back. And woman actually said, if that was my child and they were stealing a book, I would be quite happy in that. But I had to take the book back.
It shows you the situation, doesn't it? You're young and you're reading like no other child, really. But you're having to go and steal the book because that's a mindset. But there's loads there. But I know you were also very young when you started up your own gang.
Yep.
What was the name of the gang?
The YDT.
The YDT.
Young Dalmuir Team.
Young Dalmuir Team.
Yep.
Right. And what age were you when you started that?
About 13 or 14. And then...
That's when you're really starting to get into the chaos and stuff like that.
That's when I was about 12 or 13, I'd just gone to high school. I was always fighting that in school, primary school. I loved learning. So in the classroom, I was good as gold. Because I loved to learn. The teachers had something to teach me and I liked reading the books and that. But in the playground, I was wild. I would just fight everybody. When I was a kid, the things that you could be in school, or like what you would get credit for, was if you're the best football player or the best fighter. So I was only a wee small wee guy. I wasn't that good at football. I was all right. But I was good at fighting because people couldn't beat me because I would just keep getting up. I used to get doing half a man in the house. So a punch in the face half a wee guy, it wasn't really that bad. So I would just keep going and I would just beat people. And that was it. I've got a motto: I will persist until I succeed, and that's it in my life. Just keep on going.
Was that many crazy stories that you told me from that age, 13, 14? But the ones that stand out are, I think you're about age 14 at the time, as you said, fight anybody. And you were friendly with the guy that owned the pub, and he used to put the people, the men,
Aye.
put them at the back of the pub and you would fight them.
This was when I went to boxing. So I happened to be, we cycled down to Renton. One time we were all going on the bikes, and I got jumped off all these guys. They smashed bottles out of my head. I was away up the road, greeting tears, iron brown, blood I could taste in my mouth. My mum took me to the police, and the police just said to me, "Toughen up, wee man." That was really it. So I thought, I better toughen up. And there was a boxing club, the Osprey Boxing Club. Barry Winters was my coach. Amazing guy, I love this guy. Such a strong, solid guy, and taught me a lot. I always looked for these male figures to only give me guidance and that, because my dad hated me. He didn't give me nothing. I actually had tons and tons of fights, and my coach used to take me to the fights, and he said to me, "You not got a dad?" I said, "I've got a dad." He said, "You're winning all these fights, you go to all these competitions, you win. Your dad never come and watch." I said, "Yeah, there's 5 years." He said, "But you're winning everything." I said, "It's fucking life." So I loved this guy, and he was a bouncer in one of the bars in Dalmuir called Macintoshes. So we would hang about outside there, and I would just go along and talk to him because I loved him. And then I would be going to competitions on the Sunday. He would take us to competitions in London Road and all different clubs, and we would fight. We would have fights. But he was the bouncer, and when people were causing trouble in the pub, he'd say, "You think you could do him?" I was 14. I boxed at 8 stone. That's what I boxed. I think it's light flyweight or flyweight. So I boxed at 8 stone, whatever that was in kilos. I boxed it bang on 8 stone. I'd say, "I don't know." He'd say, "Would you fight him?" I'd say, "I'll fight him." So they'd start throwing the guys out. So I would be there when they'd throw them out. I would just stand there. So these guys are out, "You fucking pricks. I'm fucking going to do yours." And I would just be standing there. And they'd be like, "You looking at you fucking me prick." I'd say, "You?" I'd say, "Well, fucking don't." I'd say, "Or what?" I'd say, "I'll fucking smash your cunt in." I'll say, "Go for it." "Oh, you want me to do it? Go for it." So next time, I would have a square go with these guys. And the first, I don't know, maybe 5, 6 times, I got a doing, I got a doing. I did get a doing. About first few times, I got a doing. But then I stopped getting doings. And I never ever get a doing again. I was just an absolute machine, and I could just fight anybody, and I would just keep going. And these guys get tired. And that was it. I would maul them all.
It's crazy, isn't
That's
it?
it. And I loved it. I loved fighting them. My mum used to know when I came home, because I would come home with black eye and my mouth all busting and all that, and I would be buzzing. She'd say, "I knew it." And then when I was in school, one of the dinner ladies, she was saying to me, "Hey, you think you're hard, you wee arsehole, fucking fighting all the men outside the pub." I said, "I'm 14. I'm 14. And these guys are wanting to fight us outside." "You fucking stand there because you can box." I said, "Aye, fucking right." These guys are 30, 28, 20 odds and 30. I want to fight a wee guy. Fucking right. So, that was where I had 1,000, 1,500 street fights in my life.
That was like you doing your training.
Yeah.
And
Really.
leading up to the life that you were going to be leading for the next, 15 years or whatever it was. More than that. But there's loads of stories there when you were only 14. You told me one, was it your friend's brother was abusing him, burning him with cigarettes and stuff like that. Was it Wong? Or
No, my mate hung about with this boy Wong. There was a squad he's hung about, but there was a few real game boys, and we would go about. Me, Hutchie, Wong, Jimmy was one of them. They were all people that we ran about when we were young. So me and Wong were down outside the shops one night. It was about 12 o'clock at night. I think we were 14, and one of the wee guys that was with us, he started crying. And we were saying, "What's up with you?" And he said, "I don't want to go home, I don't want to go home." I said, "How no?" He said, "My brother, parts fuck is. He makes me do his ironing, he burns me with the iron, he burns me with fags." And the wee guy's just terrified, he's crying. And his brother hung about with this gang. They were done, back when we were young, Clydebank was the murder capital of Europe for a certain amount of time. And this boy hung about with these guys, and they were all fighting and murdering, two gangs, and they were murdering each other, attempting to murder each other. So his brother hung about with these guys, and he was always saying to this wee guy, just terrorised the wee boy, made him do everything for him in the house, slap him about. So I just seen this guy as my dad. I'm just thinking, fucking hell, this wee guy terrified to go house. I remember being scared to go home because you know you're going to get a doing or something's going to happen. And I said to Wong, and Wong fought all these guys as well. So Wong was fair up there, and all these people used to chase him about. But he would get them one by one. If he was going home and he'd see them, Wong would batter them. So the wee guy said, no. And I said, do you want to just go up and do him? And Wong was like, aye mate, fuck it. The wee guy's like, no, you can't. The things about with them, they'll do this and all that. I'm like, fuck them. Let's go. So we're in Old Kilpatrick and we have to walk, got 3 or 4 miles up to this wee guy's house. So me and Wong and this wee guy, we march all the way up. And when we get to outside the close, the wee guy, I'm not going in. And I said, right, what house is it? So he said, it's that one up there. So I go away up. But he points to the middle one. I thought he's pointing to the middle one, but he's pointing to the top one. So I go up, 14 years old, and I go up and I creep in. So I try the door, because the door will be open. I'm trying the wrong door in the middle. So I walk in the house and I just creep along this hallway. And there's people in the living room. And I look through, I can see, and I know one of the boys that's in the living room was cousins with a boy that lived in my street. And I remember selling them bits of hash when I was a wee guy, and they'll smoke hash. So I came my way back out the house, I shut the door, and I'm down, I said, that's that boy Gav's house. He's like, no mate, I live up the stair. So I thought, this boy Gav, I know him. So I said, right, come on. And me and Wong's going up the stair, and I'll go to this boy Gav's door. I said, mate, you got a batter in that? I was 14, this guy's in his 20s. And me and Wong's going up there, and he hangs about with these nutters, and we don't know if he's a crazy guy as well. So we're not taking any chances. So we'll go there, and he's like, mate, I've got a baseball bat. I'm like, geez it. So he wants this baseball bat. So next thing, me and Wong's got a baseball bat, and we're up. So I said to him, where's your bra? And he said, he's in the end room. So we go in, we sneak in the room. We go in, and it's pitch darkness. We're creeping in through this house. And we get to the room, just keep the door open. The guy's lying in his bed. We get jackets now, and I put a scarf on my face, and it's bounced in. Just fucking smashed up, caning this guy. Guy jumps up, screaming all over the place, and batting him about this room. And he falls in the back of the bed. The bed slips out with it, whatever way, and it slips out, and he falls down the back of the bed. So he's down there, and I'm standing up in the bed, and I just said, right, calm yourself down and get up and lie back in the bed. He's like, what are you doing? Who is this? And I said, shut the fuck up and get in and lie back in the bed. So he lies back in the bed, and we're standing there. And he didn't know we're only 14-year-old wee guys. He must think must be this other gang coming to get him or something like that. So I just said to him, if you ever touch him again, you ever do anything to him, then I'm going to come back. I know who you are. I'm fucking 14 years old, man, telling this guy, he's lying in the face. I won't, please, don't do this to me again. I said, we know where you live. We'll come back to your house. You ever touch him again? And he never ever touched him again. When I see the wee guy after that, and he just said, thank you, mate. Well, you saved my life. Like, the misery. And the wee guy was crying to go home. And we done a bad thing, but we done a good thing for
you see it as a good
else.
thing as well, you know. You're using all you know at the time.
It's just
the skills, you know, to terrify people into no abusing somebody else. So, in my book, it's a good thing.
Aye, well,
but we don't condone the violence, but but moving in, so that there was so much chaos. In fact, before we move into your later teenage years, there was also a story. Was it your first ever armed robbery? Or
when I was 14, just before I turned 15, I remember being like people, the older guys, you'd hear about people doing robberies, and you're like, fucking hell, man, these big guys are fucking nuts. And I was thinking, I would do a fucking armed robbery. So I'm like, what would I rob? And then I remember my mum and dad was out, and my brother was watching my wee brothers and sisters. And whatever it was, they were talking about robberies, and they were talking about things that people had done. Because there was guys that they used to hang about along Yoker, and there was bank robbers along there. And then something happened to the police one night, they were all fighting the police, so they were talking about this. And the icy, I just heard the icy. I was saying, fuck it. Came round a little bit first. I was saying, I'm going to rob this icy. So I'm going to rob this icy. So here the icy came around, and I've got a big dagger. I got a balaclava on. I just out the back gate, and the icy's coming up the street, and the chimes are going, and I'm jogging up, the back lane. There's this race, he's going up the street, jogging up, and it was about October, because I can remember this condensation coming out my mouth. I was like a dragon just running up. You could hear this, and I've got a knife out in my hand. I've not got it in my trousers or nothing, and I'm just running up this back lane. And as I come to the end of the lane, it's a bit of grass, and I go right, and the icy's just turned, and it's just pulling into the spot. The chimes are still going. And I'm just jogging up, and I just run up to the back window, bang, crash the back window, and all the glass goes flying in. It's bouncing the side, and hop right up. I'm an agile boy. I was 14, I was training every single day and that. I'm fit and strong. And I just hop right up, leg in the window, and there's a bird there, and she starts screaming. I'm just like, go away, you fucking cow. Push her into that bit. Turn around, I used to work on an icy, and so I knew exactly where the door and all that was, and I was like, this icy all the time. And she starts screaming, the woman starts screaming that whose icy it is, and I remember her just shouting, "You fucking bastard, you bastard." I just grabbed the dash out the till, jumped back out the window, and then there's a box of drumsticks there, and I just grabbed the box of drumsticks. I'm only a wee guy, so I'm like, I want some drumsticks
I love
as well.
drumsticks as well.
Aye, and then that was it, bang, back out the window. With flashes on them, 10, 15 seconds, just so
Much
quick.
did you get, you remember?
85 quid.
That's not a bad joke.
Aye, man, 85 quid. 85 quid and a box of drumsticks.
That was alright, wasn't it?
Aye,
That just shows you.
fun.
But that they're comical stories
Aye.
before you get right into the real serious stuff.
Aye.
But and it wasn't too long before that happened, because I think you're about 17, 18. You told me a story, you met a guy, was his name John Murphy?
Aye, John Murphy was the man down our bit when we were all growing up. I remember working with guys that worked underneath this guy, and I would buy bits of hash, a 9 bar of hash, and maybe 50 eckies or 100 eckies. And then I started wanting more, because I started grafting, and I would just hang about all day and all night at the square in Dalmuir, and I would sell bits of hash. People would come from everywhere. So it's a wee guy, kicks about on the bike, and I would just go kick about on a bike and serve everybody. I'm just busy there every night, and we would fight people, we'd do everything. People would come there and knew we were there all the time. And so I was working with these boys, and then I started wanting to buy 100 and 200, and then I came to them, I want 500, and it was a bit of hassle to get them this time, and I said, look, I want 1,000. And they said to us, we need to introduce you to somebody else, we can't do that, we only get whatever, and you're buying everything off of us. So they're going to introduce me to this guy, John Murphy, and I'm like, I'm going to meet John Murphy. Everybody'd heard about this guy. He drove a Range Rover, he had shops, he had a boat down at Loch Lomond, and I remember seeing him in a pub. He's just so cool. Everybody drinking out bottles and that, and he'd put the drink in the glass. Just something, he had this phone, a wee banana phone, it was so cool. So I'm like, fucking hell, I'm going to go and meet this guy, John Murphy. And I have to go up to just round the corner of his house, there's a lane, and I have to be there at, say, 7 o'clock on a Friday. And I go, and this guy turns up, still waiting in the lane 10 minutes early. Still thinking, fucking hell, I'm going to meet John Murphy. And he just appears, this suave guy, so suave, so cool. He's, how you doing, son? I said, good. He's like, you're getting too big for them boys. You have to, and you come and meet me. And I said, aye. He said, what do you want? I said, 1,000 eckies. He said, I don't do anything less than 5,000, me man. I said, I've only got money for 1,000. He just pulled this bag out his jacket and went, here, take him, it's 5,000. I said, I don't have money for 5,000. He said, I guarantee you'll be back here next week for another 5,000. And you'll pay me the money and you'll be here for another 5. Next week I said, no, it'll take me a month to sell these. He said, I don't think so. The next week I was back for another 5,000 because I grafted them all. And then, before you know it, I was just grafting all the stuff for this guy. And he worked with people down in England, he worked with people abroad. Well, he was a strong guy. He wasn't strong, he had a good name and that. He wasn't strong in the sense he was a crazy guy, because he didn't like violence and anything like that.
Just a strong character.
He was a good guy. He's an honest guy, he was honourable. He's just a nice guy, a real nice guy. Helped everybody in that as well. So I loved about him. Such a good guy. And then I ended up working with him, and then he ended up having to leave the country because an operation on them, and he was going to get 18 years. And he phoned me. He was at High Court. He phoned us, it was at lunchtime, and he knew the trial was going bad, and he just phoned me. He said, look, son, because by this time I was one of his best mates. He loved me because we were just solid. He's a good guy. He's like a mentor. He's like a big brother or a dad. And he was just teach me all the stuff and introduce me to loads of people. He phoned us for the High Court and he just said, much money you got on you? I said, I've got 15 grand lying there now. And I said, I can get you mail later on. He said, I need it right now. He said, what's lying there right now? And I said, it's 15 quid. He said, can I come and get it? I need a boat. I said, aye mate, sound. He said, can you get us to Ireland and get me a passport and all that? I said, the guys I know well there, can I? And that was that. Aye. Down, got the dough. Went to Ireland and then he ended up flying to India and he stayed in Goa. And then that was another whole story that we had this guy here there.
That's madness, isn't it? But it just shows you the people you end up meeting, the people you know, and then you become friends with these people. And as you said, he wasn't really a bad guy. No, he was just a criminal, and this is the sort of life that he led. But so this is you now moving into the chaos, right? Because it's starting to get more serious. I think it's more late teens, early 20s. You told me a story you were kidnapped by a rival gang. Can you talk me through that?
Aye. Three of the boys, a few of our boys were really game. But me, Hutchie and Wong, we were up for it and we would go ahead with anybody. It didn't matter who it was. So we were all proper tight and everybody knew this. So this older guy got done one time. He got put in hospital. And everybody was scared of these people. We weren't really scared of them. So this guy get done, he ends up getting put in hospital. So I'm going to serve somebody. Next thing, bang, smash their lead with a hammer. Whatever it is. I wake up in this boot of motor and all blood and all that. And next thing, I get tied up. I'm in a chair. And these guys are saying to me, your mate done one of your people. So you're going to set him up. And they were saying to us, you're going to set Hutchie up. I said, my fuck, setting Hutchie up. Next thing, bang, bash, smash. Flipping the chair upside down. Fucking people smashing you. They pick shafts with all sorts. All this went on for about an hour. And then they said to us, right, you going to set him up now? I said, I already told you, so I'm not going to fucking set him up. So, bang, smash, fucking everything, all this again. But they're so Hutchie was my best mate, one of my best mates. But it wasn't him that done it. I knew it wasn't him that done it. It was Wong that done it. He's another one of my best mates. I'm not going to tell them it was Wong that done it. They're going to say, set Wong up. So I mean, look me, man. Like, fucking look the state of you. But just set him up. And I said, I'm not setting him up because it wasn't him that done it. What do you mean it wasn't him that done it? I said, I know the night that happened and Hutchie wasn't it because Hutchie's brother had died. And whatever's run about the time it was, he would stay in and through the process at this time, he didn't feel good. And so I knew it wasn't him that done it. I knew it was Wong that done it, so I knew it wasn't Hutchie that done it. So I'm not going to set him up. And they're like, why are you not going to set him up? I said, what have you done to me? Oh, fucking hell, if I set him up, you're going to get 10 times worse to him. And they're saying, that's no your concern, he's done this. And I said, he never done it because he wasn't it. So next thing after 2 hours or something like that, them battering us and they took my bank card and they took money out of my bank and whatever it was in my motor, took all the stuff. So they phoned this guy. This guy is a guy called Billy Bryson. He's a strong guy up the drum, with bars and all that, and involved in loads of things. Just a real strong guy. So it was his mate that get done. So they phoned, and I heard them on the phone just saying, look, Billy, this fucking wee cunt, he's not going to set him up. And I just shouted, I said, is that Billy Bryson? Because I knew who the guy was that get done. So I thought, he's the one that's paid these boys to come there. And I knew these guys are just getting paid to do a job. And so I said, is that Billy Bryson? They said, aye. I said, tell him it's me that they've got. So they told him and they said, bring him in my house. So next time the guys fucking all cut, broken bones and blood everywhere and all that, and they bring us to Billy's house. And he gets us there and he said, what? I didn't know it was you that they were going to get. I said, that's fine, it's fun life. And he said, who was it that done it? I said, it wasn't Hutchie. And he said, but you know who it was that done it? I said, I know who it was that done it. He said, how do you not tell us? How do you not tell them? I said, why am I going to tell it was one of my mates? I said, that's life. So he ends up, well, I got away, and that was it. The end of the story was I got away. And he said to me, look, these guys want to kill you because they know you're a gamey guy. You have to promise me, because I've helped you out of this, you have to give me your word that this is the end of this here. This is the end of this now. And if I give my word for something, then I stick to my word. I'm not a liar. And I said, sound, no problem. And he said, no, whatever happens in your life, this is it. This is done. This is me. If you get any problem with somebody, you've got it with me, because these guys are doing a job. I said, right, fine. And that was it.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's so much chaos for such a young age, and it's getting more chaotic. You know what I mean? You're meeting more dangerous people, and the story just gets more crazy, because after that, you then get mixed up with the IRA, and it was a story on the building site. That's a cracker of a story.
I was only a young boy. When I got to about 13, 14, every summer I would go to Ireland. So a kind of agreement. No, my mum and dad didn't want me causing all sorts of bother. I was still at school at the time as well, and I was mental. So I was still at school, but I wasn't bad in school. I was just fight everybody, and start using knives and all that. People get slashed and loads of different things. So I'd go to Ireland every summer, and when I went there, I would work on fishing boats. I loved it. Work with these solid guys and just get a laugh. And the last year, I think I turned 17. I bought a car and I took my car over, and the fishing was just so bad. Well, you weren't catching nothing. So I ended up getting a job on a building site, and with a guy, Josie McBride. And this guy loved me because I was a mad wee guy, and this guy was nuts as well. So I was working on this building site, and he'd teach me everything. I learned how to drive diggers. He taught me how to plaster, wire up, be an electrician, do plumbing work, do roofing, everything, ain't at all. The guy would teach us how to do it. We were doing a roof on this dance hall when they were building the dance hall for an IRA guy's wedding. So the IRA guys, like for Belfast and Derry and that, they would go on the run in Donegal, because it's the South Island and the North Island, and they've got loads of sympathisers down there, and then these IRA guys on the run would stay in my mate's house. So Ma would let them in and all that. So I would meet all these people. And they were crazy, and they loved the stories about all the things and what they would do, and adventures that they were on and missions they went on. So I was working on a roof one day, and there was a guy and his son. They were roofers, and this younger, the son, he's about 10 years older than me, but just a tadger. No one of these guys trying to get wide, and I'd met him a million times in my life. He's trying to get wide, go and do this wee man, and calling me names, no fucking job, just bullshit things, and try to be wide all the time. His dad and all these people are there, and I'm just there myself. I go there and stay with my auntie, and just live in my auntie's house, not let anybody else with me at all, just stay there yourself. And he's telling me to do something one time. I said, you go and fucking do it. He's like, who you talking to? And I said, you. He's like, well, fucking don't. I said, or what? Well, that's what I always say to people, or what? What are you going to do? Or what? Go for it. So he said to me, I'll fucking put this hammer over your head. I said, come on down then. Have a square go. And the dad says, no square go. You get this as well. I said, like, 2 years with hammers. So I said, all right, in the bar, 2 minutes. And I go down the ladder, and I get an axe. I come back up the ladder. I said, right, 2 years, bring the hammers. 2 years, we'll go out in this car park. So I go back down the ladder, and I start shouting down the car park. I'm like, come on down, 2 years, come down, bring the hammers down, and I'll have a square go with these. Because I fought people with knives and everything before, it didn't matter. And I know what I can do. Oh, I'm nimble and I'm agile. And the guys are standing at the edge of the roof, and then the boss comes out and he's like, what the fuck's going on? I said, these 2 pricks tell me they're going to hit his lead with hammers. Tell me to come down then, we'll have a square go. And then after that, we finished the dance hall, and everything gets squared up, and the dad just, look, apologies, look, everything's all brand new, and the boy apologised to us. And that was it. They never gave us any more hassle ever again. But this is an IRE guy that we were down the dance hall for, because it was quite urgent, that because this guy was having his wedding and we were having to finish this dance hall. So these guys hear about the story and that as well, and then I get invited to the wedding because we were working. I was working from 8 in the morning till 10 at night to help these guys to try and get this dance hall finished. So I'd be there all day. They would feed you and all that there, and I would just keep on working. So by the end of it, we get invited to the wedding. So at the end of the wedding, and my brother was mad for the wolf tones and all the IRA music. No, I didn't really care. I just liked the stories, but I didn't really care about. I liked the songs and that as well. So at the end of the wedding, we're all sitting in maybe about 25 years or 30 years, and we're all still drinking in this dance hall. Everybody else is gone, and the guys are singing. They didn't know the songs. The people these guys that were terrorists and that, alleged terrorists, they didn't know all the songs. So I knew all the songs. My brother used to play them. So And they were saying, anybody know a song? And one of the guys that stayed in Mantis was like, Paul knows all these songs. So next thing I end up singing the songs to these IRA guys, and they were loving it, buying his pints, and we end up sitting there till about 6, 7 in the morning. I'm singing songs, singing Joe McDonald and all these different songs. But I just knew them because my brother played them.
It's mad as well because you've got this great likability and then telling the story from the building site, showing that you've not to be fucked with either. And then you get that respect, and as you said, befriending them. So it's madness, but the chaos just continues. So you're age 21, and it's the first time you ever went to prison. It was a firearms charge and conspiracy to murder. Is that correct?
Yep, we get done with kidnapping, 2 attempted murders, conspiracy murder, firearms charges, and all sorts of other nonsense.
And how long were you on remand for?
On remand for about 4 or 5 months. I had another couple of trials to go up for as well. A couple of people get stabbed outside a pub, and another incident as well. So I went in trial for one of these and got not guilty. This was some ridiculous thing. Since I was a young kid, because I was crazy wee guy when I was young, so I used to fight everybody. I used to roam about, me and the boys that I hung about with, but I would just fight everybody in square goes, and I just liked fighting people. So in Clydebank, it's a small place, so the police that work in Clydebank, they live in Clydebank, a lot of them. So at this point I'd battered a couple of some of their nephews and this, so the police, no, a lot of them, because a lot of them, I get a good day. I don't care about anything. I get a laugh with everybody. But there's a few police, a couple of brothers, and then one of this other copper, and I think it was one of their wives had battered the nephew. Oh, and then one of the other ones, I don't know what it was, but these coppers wouldn't let my missus, her young cousins they weren't allowed to hang about these coppers' sons or any of their family. They'd say, no, you're related to Paul Tait, we're not allowed to hang about. So this is how deep it went, the hatred with these police. No, you're not even allowed to go near them, you're not allowed to say their name in this house, they're bad people, they're bad, anybody that hangs about with them's bad. So this is just a mindset that happens. And one time we were outside a boozer, I was just back for a wedding, and it was actually Halloween, so there's these all people all dressed up, and then there was a fight in the pub, and I was just back for a wedding, so I wasn't drinking or nothing, and at the end my mate got a doing, and I just came in at the end, and all this fight had happened, and so I'm waiting with my mate. I've got him in the toilet, everybody else has left, my brother got hit early, he'd with a bottle, somebody smashed his bird in the face with a bottle, and loads of people, so other people went to hospital and that, and then there's these other people there, and the police came in this one copper, so I'm walking out, and I've got a suit and that on, everybody else is all covered in blood and that, and I'm going to take my mate, and I'm saying, look, I'm on, I'll take his mouth saw burst, and he had a black eye, one of the guys hit me a bottle and he had a cut, and the copper said, grab him, that's Paul Tait, get him. And they were saying, no, nobody's made a complaint about him. And they said, no, it's something to do with him. So I get to jail for this. I end up going to trial. And on the first day, after the first day of the trial, the sheriff said, we've got the wrong people on trial here. But just because I was there, and they've charged me and they've charged my mate, and I got, and after the first day of the evidence, because I was in jail, and they brought me back up for the jail the next morning, and the sheriff said, stand up, said, no case to answer, free to go. So this is just nonsense, just bullshit. I done a lot of things, but some of the things, the busies, because they were that, they hated me that much. Just certain ones, they would always, they've cancelled insurance, phoned up the jail, my mum and I ended up moving back to Ireland because these coppers just jailing my mum, jailed my dad, jailed my mum one time, and then they took her in and tried to charge her for I think to do with proceeds of crime. So she got a house, and say her salary was 60,000, and £800 on the application. She'd put 60,000 and no the £800, and they took her in and tried to charge her with whatever fraud or mortgage fraud. That's what it was. Just give them hassle. Jailed my sister one time. Jailed everybody I know. Phone up insurance companies, cancel your insurance. We worked with a company we used to get vans and lorries off of, and they told them stop getting him vans and lorries with a scaffold company, and they said, well, the guy's brand new, so they phoned up his insurance and got his insurance cancelled. We're trying to apply for a licence to run lorries. It's an operator's licence. I didn't know you had to get it. And then, so we went to this hearing. So I applied for it and they said, no, you're not even allowed to apply. You're never getting this. Never ever. Because of the police. And then a wee guy, he was going to open one as well. And they said, no, you're not getting a licence either because you're his mate. Oh, just ridiculous stuff. Just petty wee gimps. And just vindictive. But this is what happens in life. Weak men. Well, this is how the problems in society, you know, it's weak men. And weak men create tough times. And that's it, vindictive. I respect anybody that's due respect, but I don't respect weak people. I don't respect weak, vindictive people because they're weak, vindictive people. They don't deserve respect. They don't respect themselves, so I don't respect them. And this is it. Certain police, they just, they've got a bee in their bonnet and fucking forever.
So you were up and it was a high court case.
Aye,
that
high
one,
court case.
as you said, the conspiracy to murder, the firearms, and you walked free.
Aye. First,
because you were innocent.
Aye, because I was innocent. It was the police, this guy get shot, and then the police went in when he was out, he's not on morphine, and said it was the Taits. He's made this statement, so after he got out of the hospital, they're just writing all this stuff down, and he's like, no, I know Paul, I know them, they're brand new, no, it was them, we heard it's them, all this nonsense. And so when he gets out the hospital, he tries to go and retract the statement.
Has he been shot or something?
He gets shot. He gets shot a couple of times. And he tries to retract this statement, and the police say, no, you're not retracting it. So we go to High Court. The first day of the trial, the guy comes up and says, they said this, they wrote all this down. And
they get away with it, and all the bastards, this is the thing.
Aye, that's it. No, just bullshit, making up lies and putting things. They offered people hundreds of thousands of pounds. And just said, look, as long as you'll testify, we'll make it stick, but we need somebody to testify. And I believe it. I know he came straight, told us, said, mate, the busies are offering me £500,000 and a new identity. Say, we'll put you in a witness protection. He's like, they what, make up lies? I'm not going to make up lies. And they're just like, no, we'll make it stick as long as you agree to testify. I mean, £500,000 and offer them a new life. Which fuck, no chance.
This is what I mean.
So that's the pettiness of some of these people.
And that's what they do. They set a lot of people up.
Aye.
You know, anything, as you said, make it stick and get results for the hierarchy. And this is what they are, weak men. But moving on in the story, because, as I said, the further we go in this story, the more chaotic and crazy it gets. And I love all this stuff. Right. Because the way you tell these stories, it is like something out of a movie. Right, so that never stopped you there. So you walk free from the High Court, and then you start to meet people more on an international level. You start travelling, and you get mixed up with some serious people. And where was the first places you really went? Was it Colombia or?
I get introduced. I ended up with through being in Donegal and been down there, we met loads of people in IRA for Belfast and Dublin and everything else. So these guys had huge networks all over the world. And I had skills, things that I was good at. So I ended up meeting people all over the world. So I met Colombian drug cartels in Medellin and Cali and Bogota. I met Hells Angels in Caracas in Venezuela. I actually remember these Hells Angels, and the guy was always talking about mom. I was talking to mom on the phone, mom, and I'm like, this fucking guy talked to his mom 10 times a day. But when I asked him, I said, what are you always telling us your mum? Why are you always talking to your mum? And he said, no, it's Mom Boucher. This was the guy, the head of the Hells Angels in Canada. This is who he's talking to her. He said, Mom's asking for you. I'm like, your mum asking for you every day? I'm going to these places. And so, Mum was saying this, Mum was saying that. This fucking guy run everything past his mum. He's a big, strong, big guy.
Cartel or whatever.
When the Hells Angels, a representative of the Hells Angels in Canada. It was Mom Boucher, and it was this guy. He was a crazy guy. Ended up blowing up courthouses and all that. These guys were nuts, like proper nuts. So I met these guys. Who else did I meet? Albanian mafia, Turkish mafia, the IRA, provisional IRA, the real IRA, continuity IRA, the UDA, the UVF. I was all over the place, met all these people. I was in I was at Tina Park one time, and I got a phone call, and the guy said to me, look, Paul, these people are ready to meet you. So you've got a appointment tomorrow, go to the Pakistan embassy in Glasgow. And I said, mate, I'm at Tait Park all weekend. He said, these people are ready to meet you. So tomorrow you're going to go to the Pakistan embassy and on the south side, and you're going to be there. You're going to be there for this time. So I'm like, fuck's sake. So I'm already mad with it. We're sitting with all our mates in Tait Park, and that was it. I had to leave, phone somebody, come pick me up. Took us down the road the next day. I was at the embassy in the Pakistan embassy on the south side. Met a guy, took the passport, went away. And then the boy on the phone said, after that, you'll go to this travel agent. There'll be a flight tickets for you, with a business class flight from Glasgow to Lahore. Got the passport back, went to this thing, picked up these tickets. He said, be at the airport tomorrow for the 12, whatever time the flight was, and somebody will meet you at the other side in Lahore. So that was it, man. Got the passport, got the visa. Next day, I've got a business class flight, fly to Lahore. Go to the airport in Lahore. I'm just walking about. There's all these brown faces, a million brown faces, and just me try to grab my bags and all that. I'm like, what are you doing? Slap people at the way. Next thing I see this big fat guy, Paul. This area up the stair, a VIP area, and he sends guys down and they get us. So it starts an adventure. We go for Lahore, and then we drive all the way up to Islamabad. And then we have a meeting there, and then they say, right, now you have to go to the tribal regions. So we got another drive all the way up to Peshawar, and then up past Peshawar into the tribal regions where you're no longer protected by the Pakistan government.
It's near up the borders.
Aye, on the tribal,
like Afghanistan
tribal
and stuff.
Aye, so on the border between Pakistan and Afghanistan. And so I went to this place, and then these two pickups turned up. These guys all with machine guns, AK-47s, hard and real. I don't know whether Al-Qaeda or they were Taliban fighters, but they turned up with this guy. So we went and stood on there, and we went to the place where we met. It's like a wee kind of town square, like a wee old town, and there was a couple of 3-story buildings, but riddled with bullet holes. Oh, bullet holes everywhere, rocket. Like half of the buildings are bombed down because they've been hit with rockets. And this place where we're going into for the meeting, it's like as if it's a wee kebab shop hanging down the stairs. Like imagine in the mountains, they're cooking. So I think that's a kebab shop, because they've got a goat or something where they've got on this spit, and they're turning it round and they're feeding people and that. But it's like just a wee. Can you imagine something, a western town?
Like a cave?
Aye,
like
a corral hang, aye. And they've got, and there's these 2-story buildings and that. So this one we go into, it's bombed. So usually you would walk in the corridor and double back and then go up the stairs. But it was bombed in, so you just step out the bit of the wall and we start walking up the stairs. So it's me and all these fighters standing there with AK-47s and that. It's the guy that we were there to meet. So it's a big mat on the flare. And he says, sit down. So I sit down and he says to us, you're either very brave or very stupid. I said, probably a bit of both, mate. And he said, if you weren't here to meet me, he said, you'd be on YouTube getting your head cut off. Do you realise this? I said, aye, mate, I've seen the videos. I said, you want to cut my head off? He said, no. I said, well, what are we talking about that for? Let's get to business. And that was it. Sat there, talked. Guy was brand new. I had an interpreter with this guy. Talked about what we were there to talk about. And then at the end, they sent down for food. All the fighters put all their AKs against the wall. We all sat around the thing and we all had food, shared food together.
I mean, it's something at a movie. What age are you at that point, roughly?
So when I got out the nick, so I done a sentence for putting police officers in a big fight. We put about 6 or 7 police in the hospital, and I get to jail for that. So it's when I get out after that. So maybe about 30 something. That's when I travelled to there.
And then you continued on your travels. Some of these stories, I'm saying they're brilliant, right? Because I love all this stuff, because it is like something at a movie. It's so surreal. Like, you think, how can this guy that I know who's sitting in front of me be this guru, this guy that's full of wisdom, right, and joy, and brings this amazing energy? How can this guy be this gangster? How can he come for this chaotic lifestyle? But then I realise the true suffering, the true chaos all of that stuff, the low vibrational stuff, you're right at the bottom of the realms. You told me a story where you said that you had everything, but you had nothing. You were empty inside. But we'll get to that. We'll get to how the transformation came, because there's other stories there, and I want to hear them. There's so many here, Paul. There's one, you were shooting cans with like cartel guys or something.
Oh,
Where was that?
funny. I was in Cali, and when I went there, I stayed there for a while. I was trying to learn Spanish because I was in meetings with these guys. Everybody's speaking Spanish, so I was saying to them, get me a class or get me a tutor or something. They said, hermano, the only way you learn to speak Spanish is you get a Spanish girlfriend. You will learn the Spanish quicker than anything. So I get this girlfriend, Alejandra Echeverri Bucheria. So smoking amazing, such a fun wee Colombian girl. And stays with us. And so we were in the city at the time, but the guys had farms, they had loads of things outside. And I don't like being in cities, I like to be in the wilderness. I just loved it when I lived in Faithfully. I was always in the hills all the time. I'd go and get a box of matches, I'd go and set the house on fire, show my pals in school on the Monday.
That was me, didn't it?
Primary 4, aye. And then when I moved into Dalmuir, the hills are there, and I was always doing the Clyde and everything. So I like to be outside, and I stayed in a farm in Ireland and out in fishing boats. So I just loved that. And I said to them, well, I want to go to the jungle. And they were saying, look, we're going to take you to the jungle. I said, well, let me stay in the farm outside the jungle. And this wee bird would come out and stay with us, just kick about in the pool. But there was a horse there. The workers on the farm had a horse, but no saddle or nothing, just had a rope in its mouth. And at the farm there was guns in it. So I would just be kicking about, take this horse, and I had a pump action shotgun, and I would put it on my back, so I had a strap on it, and I'd have a 38 special doing my shots, and I would just ride this horse along into the jungle. So I would just go about and I would find a wee lagoon. I loved it every day. I'd just go on this horse. My legs were all big welts on them because they had no saddle on the horse. I was just on the horse, just with bare back. And I would go and I would ride about. So the guys came to the farm. They were having a big party because all the families, there's the gringos are here. Oh, we want to meet the gringos. So I'm staying out at this farm. No, we're bringing all the family out. You meet the gringo. So I'm out there. And they said to me, the workers said, the gringo goes away every day. He takes the guns and he goes away on the horse. And they're like, me, you go away every day, you leave from here. I said, aye. And they say, you take the horse, where do you go? I said, I just ride into the jungle and find a lagoon, and I just keep about the lagoon, and I get the guns, and I just bang, shoot birds out the trees, and wait for big birds, and I'll bring them back, and I'll ask the workers there to cook the birds and that for us. We'll have barbecues, and I'll get Alejandra and that there. She brings her pals and all that as well, so having parties and that at this farm is brilliant. Such an experience, such an amazing time that I had there. So they came out this day and they say, Gringo, where do you go? Where do you go every day? So I say, I'll go into the jungle and shoot. Say, oh, come, show us where you go. So we're along, is about 3 or 4 days. I just go along and we're walking. So they say, can you shoot? You shoot? I say, aye man, I'm a good shot. That shows how good a shot you are. So they're drinking cans of beer and all that, these guys, and walking along. So we find this wee lagoon. And they say, show us how good a shot you are. I said, let's all take a shot. So 6 shots in this very special. So throw the can in. I said, do you go first? No, you go first. I said, no, you go first. So he gives one of the guys, bang, he misses it. Get another guy, bang, he misses it. Gives it the other guy, bang, he misses it. So I take the thing and I'm just standing there. Oops. And I get it. And I line up, there's a can in the water, and bang, shoot the can, spins right out the water. These guys, wow, everybody's clapping and that. And I say, Gringo, can you do it again? I said, I can do it again. So, next shot, is bang, goes up in there, bang, again. But I never got the one in there, but shot the second one, and these guys thought this was amazing. Oh, fucking hell, the Gringo's a marksman. Aye. But I'm competent with all weapons, with machine guns, with handguns, with shotguns, with rifles, everything. With a knife, with everything. Was that
the same village that you told me the story about the FARC?
This is the exact same place. This was the same farm. So I've been out there, been staying there for a couple of weeks, and I was in the jungle all the time. So FARC are a paramilitary organisation. They live in the jungles and that, and they come and kidnap people, or they take people, hold them for ransom. And I've been kidnapped a couple of times before and I didn't enjoy it. So this one morning, I'm just lying in bed. Alejandra's there at Ways as well. And the people that worked on the farm, they would never come over and say, gringo, the way that the bosses would. They would just stand there, come to a certain point and then wait for you. What is it? And then they would come. But this one morning, this wee guy, bang, 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 bang on the door. Gringo, gringo, gringo. Bang, 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 vamonos, vamonos. I've jumped up, what the fuck's going on here? I'm opening the door. The guy just runs in. Fuck, vamonos, vamonos. Come, they come. And I'm saying to her, I'm saying, what the fuck's happening here? What's this wee guy date? What's he shouting about? She said, fuck, the guerrillas, they come to kidnap you. They're just at the next farm. I said, where are they? And she said, just that they're coming along the road. They get the people from the next farm, phoned them and said to them, look, get the gringo. These guys are coming to kidnap him. They're coming along. There's paramilitaries with machine guns and that, all with their gear. They're coming along. You get us? So he's grabbing my bags. I'm like, where's that pump? I'm trying to get shells into this pump. Got this 38 special. And then they've reversed the like, pickup in right into where the swimming pool is. There's a swimming pool and that as well, right in, skidding right in, and they're throwing all the bags in. So I'm jumping in the back of this pickup, and I don't know who these guys are or where they are or where they're going to come from. I don't know if they're coming from the outside of the farm or they're coming down the road or anything. And I'm getting these shells loaded and I'm lying in the back of this pickup and they start skidding away, skids out the gate, and then we get away. The next thing, the army, so they've phoned the boss has phoned the army, telling them that the FARC's come to kidnap this gringo we've got staying out the farm, and the army goes that way, we go by that way, and then we get back into the city and they're like, no more farm for you, no more. That's it, you're fucking going into the jungle, you're shooting, everybody knows you're there. You fucking 2 a.m, you get bottles lined up on the fence, stand there with handguns, bang, 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 shooting the bottles off because you're drinking and you're taking cocaine and you're doing all this. So that was it. Back to the city. Into trouble.
That's madness, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolute madness.
Some crack.
You know, and I can actually see you doing it now. And then, as you said, sitting in the back of the pickup, machine guns, shotguns, people are coming to kill you, kidnap you, gringo, all of this mad stuff. But like I said, it doesn't stop there, because even on your travels, you ended up, the one that stood out the most for me was the Miami trip. And I'm sure it's Homeland Security. You end up mixed up with these agents. They come out, what happened? Did the plane land or something?
Do you know, just going back to the one when I was met the people in the tribal regions,
right?
But when I was with the guy, he said to me, I'm one of Bin Laden's people. I'm like, fuck.
Is this the one, obviously?
Bin Laden, aye, when I was there.
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan, aye, the guy. Well, I didn't ask, nothing, I just there to meet the guys. They said they were ready to meet, and that's where the guy volunteered the information. He said, I'm one of Bin Laden's people.
Just shows you.
Like, Osama Bin Laden. Yes, Osama Bin Laden. Fucking hell.
This is what I mean.
You
start getting mixed up with these people, and then it just continues on.
Aye.
But the story from Homeland Security,
Aye.
I can't remember the agent's name, but we'll flash his card up on the screen. So what happened there?
I was in flew to Jamaica with a girl. Had a holiday and I stayed in Sandals. I had guys come to meet me. So I would leave the resort, where I was doing, and come back. And then I was going to meet the American Mafia. I was going to meet members of the Gambino family in New York. So I finish up in Jamaica, put the bird on a flight back to her country where she was going to. And then I got on a flight to Miami. So I got on the flight to Miami and landed in Miami. I'm just sitting there, and there's a couple sitting beside us, a woman there. She was doing a crossword on the flight. I start helping her with the crossword. So we land in Miami. Everybody's jumping up and getting their bags and that, but I always just wait till everybody's done. I'm still helping this lady with the crossword. And then I just hear this voice shouting, everybody get down, everybody sit down, get your seats and sit. Fuck. I don't know if he said sit the fuck down right now, but he was shouting. And I just look up and I see this big massive monster, 2 of them. And they've got HSI, Homeland Security Investigations, but they've got machine guns. These guys are that big that these machine guns look like toy guns. I'm telling you, look the way they hold them, the guns down like that. They look like toy guns.
With a strap.
Aye, just, and it must be on there and they've got something they can just pull it out, but it fastens on there and it's done the way. I'm thinking, must be some brown guy on here that's going to get shot, that's going to get shanghaied out of here. And everybody sits down. The guy just says, Paul Tait, stand up and identify yourself. And I start looking.
Maybe there's another Paul Tait.
Because I've had the jail before. There's another Paul Tait in Glasgow.
Right.
When I was flying to Dubai just before Christmas, I get held at the airport. So this other guy, I met him in the jail. I was a pass man and PT pass man. And this guy comes up and he's got a card and it says Paul Tait. And I'm like, fuck. I said, I'm Paul Tait. He's like, so my mate. He just looks about the same, like the same kind of, aye, honestly, and roughly the same age as well. So I've been jailed loads of times for this guy, and then they have to take me, and then they know, no, it's no him, it's this, and whatever it is.
So you're looking behind you.
Aye, so I'm looking, hope he's on the flight. And so he's not on the flight, it's just me. And I stand up and say, that's me. This guy's just rushed towards us like an American football player, just bang me and spin me around, and next thing I'm flipped there, and my head's down, nearly looking through the back of my legs, and he's zip tagged my arms together. He's holding them up. So you imagine a wee toddler walking along, and then the guy just starts shouting at woman, "Are you," whatever the bird's name was that was with me in Jamaica. She's like, no. He's like, "Who are you?" And I said, "Look, it's just a woman I was helping with a crossword." So that's it. They grabbed my bag, and then this guy's marching me through like a wee kid. On my tiptoes, running through, looking through this airport. All I can see is the people behind me. My head is doing that low. I'm seeing it through the back of my own legs, and I'm getting dragged around this place. So they put us in the jail in the airport, and I'm in there. It's a big, massive cell. There are about 20 people in it. All these people with tattoos on their faces and all that, and Guatemalans, Hondurans, all different nationalities, all speaking Spanish. I end up in there, and then what else happens? So after a day or something, they take us interviews, and there's different special agents coming in, want to talk to us and say all this. So on this interview one time, the guy saying to me, "So what are you doing here?" I said, "I'm just here for a holiday." And he's like, and he's got these two big files beside him. And he says, "No, you're not." I said, "I am." He said, "No, you're here to do business." He said, "I'll tell you." He said, "We've been watching you. You've been caught on an FBI wiretap." He said, "No, you." He said, "Members of the Gambino family have been caught on an FBI wiretap talking about you, saying that you're landing. This is how we intercepted you, saying that you were flying for Jamaica." He said, "You were meeting a cartel in Jamaica, sitting there with them, and then you're flying to Miami. You're going to land, whatever you're doing, you're going to land it in Miami. Then you've got a buyer there for it in Miami as well, and then you're going to go up to New York, you're meeting the mafia, and they're going to help you move the money out of America." I said, "I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that." And he said, I said, "These files," and that's what he said to me. So he says, "See, at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck about what you do. I'm not giving a fuck." He said, "I've got the authority to let you in here." He said, "I'll do it, but there's conditions on that." I said, "What conditions?" And he said to me, "I'll let you in." He said, "I've got the power to sign this and allow you entry to the country." He said, "But you have to do something for me." I said, "What does I have to do for you?" He said, "You wear a wire." I said, "That's not happening." And he said, "Right, okay. You go to the meeting with the mafia." He says, "I don't care about you." He said, "I only care about what they're up to. This is what we care about, what the mafia's up to, the Gambino family." And he had these big files, and he'd already told us, he said, "This file here," that's what I said. I said to him, "See, at the end of the day, mate," I said, "I've never committed a crime in America, so I'm not really giving a fuck. Deport me." And he said, "You're going nowhere." He said, "You're going to a different facility. There's other people want to talk to you." So he had these files, and I said to him, "You looked at them two files?" He said, "I've studied these two files from front to back." I said, "Oh." And he said, "This file here is about you and your terrorist friends and your friends, paramilitaries and terrorists all over the world, across the whole world. and your relationships you've got. See, these are reports for CIA, MI5, MI6, security services. That's what this one's about. They say then this file here's for Interpol, about all your other activities, all about the world. I said, all right. I said, seeing them 2 files, did it ever say anything about me working with the police? He said, no. I said, why do you think that is? He said, oh, because you don't work with them. I said, exactly. So, put us back in the cell and deport us, and whatever. And he said, no, you're going nowhere, you're going to a different facility. And that was that. And he said to us as well, we're sitting there, and he says to us, he said, after he's sitting flicking through these files and all that, this Interpol file and this file for security services, and he starts saying to us, tough guy. Just like, fuck's this? And he said, tough guy. And I said, well, what are you saying this for? Is this a statement or is this a question? Or what? You're a tough guy. I said, no, mate, what about my demeanour and my attitude here makes you think that I think I'm a tough guy? He said, no, put police in hospital, done it. I said, it's a fight, mate, between men. Maybe you've done it on several occasions. I said, so what? It's not a fight between men. He said, so you think you like to batter police officers? I said, I don't care about battering anybody, but if somebody tries to fight me, well, whatever happens. And if they get put in the hospital, well, that's their problem. And if I get put into the hospital, that's my problem. I said, but at the end of the day, it's just a fight between men. And he said, so you want to... Dent was so aggressive. He was telling me before this, I fucking done this in college, I battered this guy and battered that guy. So this is because he's reading that and he's telling me I'm a tough guy. And I don't even care, man. I'm not a tough guy at all. I can fight people if they cause it, but I'm not interested in fighting anybody. I'd rather be peaceful. Most of the fights I get is because people say to me, I'm not scared of you. I go, aye, mate, I'm not fucking scared of you either. And I could do you. And I go, aye, no bother. And next time it turns into a fight all the time. So anyway, this guy's saying to me, fucking tough guy and all that. He says to me, do you want to assault any police officers in here? I'm just looking about all these hulks and I'm saying, no mate, I don't want to assault anybody in here. I'm not interested in assaulting anybody. He says, aye, you want to try it? He said, slapped his gun. He said, I'll put fucking 16 in you. I'm just like, you calm yourself, mate, and let me go back to the cell. And that was it. So 5 days later, a few days later, whatever it was, they put us on a flight, Virgin flight back to Heathrow.
Deported back to Britain.
Deported back to Britain.
This is what I mean. It's so much chaos, right? And this is the fascinating part of this whole story, for me anyway. Because, like I said earlier, I've only known you as this guy, the bad guru, right? And you're a good friend of mine now, right? Every time I see you, you put a smile on my face. You light up the room, and it's infectious. It infects everybody that comes into that space. It's just, you've got such an amazing energy, right? So this is what I really want to know. How did you go for being that crazy motherfucker, gangster, mixed up with all these mad bastards, right, to become the bad guru? Where was the change?
About 9 years ago, my son turned 18. And I said, oh, what do you want to do for your 18th? He said, I'm going to travel around the world. I want to travel around the world. And he said, you meet us in some places. And I said, I can't go to North America because I get to jail there. And I'm banned for America. I said, then the last time when I was in Colombia, I get held off of the narcotic police or whatever, these other agency. I said, so I don't want to go there. And he said, well, what about, and then he was heading there and then he was heading out to Asia. He's going to Japan and all these different places. And he said, what about Thailand? And I'd never been to Thailand. I've been everywhere, millions of countries around the world, but I've never been to Thailand. I said, I'll meet you in Thailand. So that was him. He travelled all Iceland, down the Americas. My mate took him. He ended up going to, he met the Gambino family. Right. He ended up going to a party. He was only 18. And my mate that I was going to meet there, that was doing an introduction, he picked Paul up, and then he ended up going to a barbecue, and these people were there and they were saying, I heard about your dad got to jail and all that, then we're asking for him, and all these stories and whatever else. So he travels away down South America, goes everywhere, and then I meet him and me and him. And when my flight came into Thailand, his flight for wherever it was, the Philippines or Japan, came in at the exact same time. So we met each other in the arrivals lounge. So the two went through the gates together, travelling for other parts of the world, and it's just the exact moment. So I got out of there and we travelled about all over the place, me and him. And we went to temples. I've got bangles that I wear that for these specific times. One with my two daughters, my two youngest daughters, and one with my son. And they never fall off. I've had loads of other ones and they all fall off, and these ones never ever have. So I went to temples and something just changed inside me when I met the culture there. It's just totally different. People were just happy and I was always sad and empty inside. Always just in pain and anxiety and this empty feeling no matter what I got. I was always still empty and still chasing something, always more money, more power. But when I was there I felt at peace. I truly felt at peace. The only place I would enjoy it in Ireland as well. That was my sanctuary, but this was so much different. I don't know what it was, and it was about the people, the culture, the lifestyle. And then I went to temples and I just sat and then get taught about meditations, because when you go to certain temples, people there, oh, have you done a meditation? And they guide you through it. So something changed inside of me then, and I started reading different books. So I was still nuts. You know, something switched. And then, I think it was 2020, or just before that, I didn't like who I was. I hated myself, because I just brought violence. That's what I was, people. I was just such a violent guy. And always everything, fucking do him, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I would do it all the time. Just, so my mate had moved to Cyprus, and I've been mates with this boy for years and years, a right good pal of mine. And I went to see him. I was talking to him because I talked to certain people about this, and I said, man, everything just here, it's just chaos, and I probably wanted, I did want to get out of this, but I didn't know how, what to do. So go to Cyprus, and my mate says, why don't we buy a football team? And you'll run it. And so I said, you got one in mind? They said, aye, I know, boys, we can get this team. So I said, right, let's do it. So me and him get this football team.
This is what I mean.
Me and him's the president.
Who buys a football team?
So we get this football team, me and him. And I'm staying there I was out there for a couple of months. And when we become the new presidents, so the MPs and the councillors, they have this dinner for us, because it's the football team for a certain area. So there's this dinner, and all these MPs and all that come to meet us, and councillors and that. I'm involved in a cryptocurrency as well. And when I was talking to the guys with the cryptocurrency, something changed. The thought process around them, always mine was, get this for me. Well, earning, obviously for my gang and all that, everybody would eat, everybody would get a piece. But these guys, it was something different. They said everybody puts in, and you build something, you create something, and then everybody's then able to extract from it. But you build a pot, and everybody puts in their time, their energy, and whatever. So get the football team, signing players and all that. We signed the first player ever to be paid in cryptocurrency, because we were involved with this cryptocurrency. The app's called the football app, and the cryptocurrency went along with that. So we buy this player and pay him in cryptocurrency, and all that, everything's flying. Fly back to Scotland. And then COVID, all this bullshit with COVID happened. So I wasn't able to go back there, because I wouldn't take any of these jags. I refused to take any of these things. And I was trying to get back in the country, and they said, no, unless you've got this. So during this time, I was in the garage around the corner of my house. I lived in Bearsden. I stayed in this penthouse flat, 4-bedroom penthouse flat, just me that lived in it. My bird, sometimes she lived there, and sometimes she didn't. And I was just in the garage around the corner, and because I'd back now, I didn't really 100% understand this cryptocurrency stuff. I met a boy who had a Bitcoin t-shirt on, and I knew him. I used to collect money. He was involved in selling tickets and that. People would bump him, and I would collect money for him. So anyway, I said to him, you know about cryptocurrency? He said, I said, one up my house. So we go up my house, and we end up smoking a joint and that. So we're talking about whatever it was, and he said to me, it must have been some crazy story, because he said to me, mate, you ever heard of microdosing? I said, no, it isn't. He said, small bit of psilocybin, mushrooms, and with some other chaga or some other mushroom. He says, but you take it and it calms you down, because I was always nuts. So I said to him, I gave him. He had some on him. I took a couple, and he gave me enough for it last a week. So I take them every day, and he phoned me up after a week, and he said, how do you feel? I said, mate, I've not even fought anybody this week. Not had one fight, not had anything like these things. There's just something, they just change you into a different person. Oh, so calm and no caring about the anger and the violence and everything else. It brought me down to a level of just calmness and serenity and acceptance. Oh, people are, this person not doing it. Ah, well, get it tomorrow. So after a week, he phoned me and said to me, how do you feel? And I told him. And he said to me, you're ready for a ceremony. I said, what's a ceremony? And he said, you take between 2 and 3 grams of mushrooms, set an intention, what you're doing, and he said, I'll send you a playlist and do all this. So I said, why not? I always try everything. Well, somebody offers something to me, I go, fuck it, let's see what happens. So I take these. I get 10 grams of mushrooms, bought them off somebody. So I take 3 grams, put it in a cup, drink it. I think I had a book, it was called Magic Mushroom Explorer, Magic Mushroom Experience, and I'd wrote down, like, what's wrong with me? Why do I feel this way? And before that, before I'd went to Cyprus, I remember standing in the house one day and I had this penthouse flat, I had an RS6 outside, I had loads of different cars, pick up, I had a company and I just thought, is this it? Is this it? All the adventures I'd had in my life. Then there was this period of calm because I'd stopped all the chaos, I'd set up a scaffold company and I wasn't involved in all the other stuff anymore. Because I had done my proceeds of crime just when this had changed. And the police came to a house that I lived in. My daughters used to call it the castle. It was this big old mansion. And the police came one time, crashed the door and all these busies come. And I'm like, what are you doing here? I don't graft. I'm finished. And they're like, no you don't. We were here for your money. And they gave us this thing, it said Paul Tait is the head of the Tait organised crime group, and this is where I'm like, fucking hell, man. So anyway, that was it. That was after that, and then I'd said, is this it? And then I ended up going to Cyprus, so this experience. So I take these mushrooms, and I'm just sitting there, and then about 20 minutes later, this voice just starts speaking to me loud and clear, like the voice of my granda. And he said, you need another cup. And he said, you heard me, you need another cup. Get up and take another cup. There's nobody there. Bang. Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's take another cup. So I got up, take another 3 grams. Bang. Had the best experience of my life. It was as if I was the star of a movie. Oh, this showing me loads and loads of things, so much wisdom and guidance and that. So I'm just lying there on the couch. Oh, this is amazing. And at a point, the voice says to me, right, get up. There's a psychologist bed. I had all this fancy shit in my house. I used to buy auctions and all that. And there's a psychologist bed and I had a balcony that wrapped all the way around. So it's 3 sides in my building. So you could see the local Patrick Hills and the whole city. And then round there you could see the Campsies and that. It tells me, take this bed outside. I take the bed outside and then it says to me, go and get a jacket. But it was warm. It was June or something like that, June or July. It was warm, it was a bit cloudy. And I'm like, what do I need a jacket for? And it says, just go and get it. Stop questioning what I'm saying. But I'm thinking this, I'm not saying it out loud. Stop questioning what I'm saying. Just go and get it. Do what you're told. So I'm like, right, alright, no what. So I go and it says, zip the jacket up and lie down on that bed. So I lie down in the bed and I zip the jacket up and bang, just takes me out my body. Takes me out my body and brings me to this, say a road. Say it's like this here. And down that way, I look down there and it shows you my life, shows you this chaos, just madness, violence, all the shit, jail, everything. I'm looking down that way. And I look up this way, it shows me this life. Travelling about the world, helping people, guiding people, creating different things for the benefit of everybody, not just that way, the benefit of me and just getting money and power. So I'm looking up there and he says to me, what life do you want? I went, that one. He went, tough, you can't get it. I said, what the fuck are you showing us it for then? And he said, that's where you go. Who you are right now, that's where you go. That's your life. I said, but what about this one? He said, that's not for you. I said, oh, why are you showing me this life? Well, what is this about? And it says, you could potentially get that life. I said, right. Potentially how? He said, well, the person you are right now only goes that way. He said, but you can become somebody else. Everybody can become somebody else in life. I said, right, so what do I need to do? He says, You have to leave the guy. This is why we told you to put a jacket on. So you have to leave the guy that you are, and we're going to give you a sign. So if you're serious about this, then you step forward and you unzip that jacket when you give you a sign, and you leave this guy in behind. Leave this guy in the jacket. And I said, then you have to step forward somebody else. And I said, who? And who am I going to be? What am I going to be? I said, you don't need to know that. How do you feel right now? I said, empty, sad, hate myself. I said, all you need to know is it's going to be better than that. You don't need to know nothing. You have to trust. And it said, sheath your sword and you'll be free. You have to let go of all this violence. And you turn up without that. That was it. I said, okay. They said, we'll give you a sign. And I'd never heard, there was a playlist came on, and this guy had gave me the playlist. And they said, right, stand up now. And I stood up, opened my eyes and unzipped the jacket. The playlist, the song came on. And the song was Things Are Changing. It's going to be better this time. Never ever heard this song before in my life. I unzipped the jacket. I let the jacket fall. And the clouds opens up and the sun starts shining on my arms up this. The sun just starts shining on us. And the voice says to me, go in and get a shower. I go in and get a shower, and I felt as if I felt like a soldier. This is the vision that I had of myself when I was scrubbing. It was as if I was dirt and blood, and everything was just on my skin. And I was scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing, and I could just see this leaving, coming after me, all this dirt and grime. Because I was in a battle since I was a wee boy, since that happened to me. You know, physios have said to me, on your left leg, it's much more developed on my left side, and this especially here, it's much more developed than it was, than my right leg is, like the muscle, the size of the muscle. And I just remember thinking that I've been in a battle all this time, and I just felt as if scrubbing all this off of me, dirt and grime and blood and everything that was on me. And when I came out the shower, the team that we'd got, me and my mate had, I got the away strip, so it was a white strip, but they didn't have time to put the new sponsor on, because we had a new sponsor for the new season. So it was this full white kit, and it was in my bottom spare room. And the kit was just lying right there when I came out the shower after half an hour, just scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing. And I just felt as if I was clean, as if I'd scrubbed all this 40 years of anger and fight and everything else. And I came out and there was a white kit there, and I put the white kit on. The rest is history.
And then the bad guru appears.
Aye.
But not right away, because I wanted to ask you, how did you get the name the bad guru?
After this happened, I understood that the mushrooms speak to me. I understood I get guidance. Whoever it is speaks to me, the mushrooms allow me to get access to be open to hearing this guidance. Everybody's got it inside them. There's a voice. Well, your conscience, the voice of your conscience. So I understand mine's now, and it just speaks loud and clear because I'm open to it, and I'm open to the guidance that it gives you. So I've done loads and loads of these ceremonies. And I remember one time, and I used to put myself through pain because it shows you the horrible person you are, it shows you the manipulator, all the low vibrations that you use, all the tactics that you use to control people. Because that's what I've done. I controlled people by violence, by intimidation, by whatever. Control them with money, control them with whatever. So I had to go through all this process to try and understand, like, why do I do this? What is wrong with me? What is going on inside of me? And this one time, my youngest daughter, she's going through growing up, and she was a bit crazy. She was fighting people and all that. I seen a video, and some woman attacked her pal when they were down at the shops at school, and somebody shouted, "Get her, Tori," and Tori jumped in, bang, started smashing this woman. So she going through this process, and what can I do? That's what I've done all my life. So this one night, my mate phones us, and he goes, "Mate, your daughter named Tori, you has to be ginger hair." I said, "Aye." He said, "Mate, she's just got to jail there. She's barking fuck at a police woman down at a train station." The guys came and whatever, the police woman grabbed her or whatever, and she started fighting with this police woman. So I phoned her mom, and she said, "Aye, the police has phoned us." She takes her back up the road. And I go down and I'm shouting at her. And she starts shouting back. So I grabbed her with the throat, and she starts screaming. She's got off me. And I just knew in that instant, as soon as I grabbed her, something happened. And I just felt this pain inside of me. So I just left the house and went up the road, and I knew there was something inside, and I knew I'd done something bad. Well, I didn't punch her, didn't bar her or anything like that, but I'd grabbed her. And I took mushrooms. I took 6 grams or something like mushrooms. I said, tell me how to fix this. What is happening here? So I take the mushrooms and go through this process, and at a certain point, playlist on and this song came on. And the song's called Darling. And when the song came on, it took me again and showed me the situation. It showed me with her, grabbing her with the throat, and then my dad with me. So the abused had become the abuser. And I cried and cried and cried. And then listened to this song again and cried and cried and cried. And the voice just said to me, she doesn't need a gang boss. She doesn't need a bully. She doesn't need somebody that's going to control her. She needs her dad. She needs love. And she's just crying out for this. She just needs some love off her dad. And that was it. Just tears, millions and millions of tears. But the process of crying is the dissolution of your ego. The ego of me, I'm fucking this. You fucking do what I tell you. The fuck am I to tell anybody what to do in their life? I don't know better than anybody. I'll even know better about my own life, never mind about that. And it just said to me, just go down there tomorrow with humility and apologise, and everything will be fine. I'm down the next day and apologised to my daughter. She accepted it. We went a walk and talked about all these things. And that was it. An amazing relationship with my daughters and my son. But I didn't before, when I was full of anger and full of this, because it's about an ego. It's about, I'm fucking this. Nobody tells me this. Fuck.
That's all you knew at all that time, as you said, from age 3, learning about violence and how to protect yourself your whole life, fight and flight mode. Fight or flight mode your whole life, and then, as you say, starting to get the changes then. I love the story of the bad guru, because the name just suits you down to a T, right? Because it's such an amazing story. Like I said previously, I've never seen such a dramatic shift in any human being that I've sat with. I can feel the energy in the studio when you came in. So who gave you the name the bad guru?
Right. So after all these processes, the same guy that introduced me to the mushrooms, he travels all over the world. The guy lives in India and ashrams and everything. He's just such a magical guy. He went to a retreat in Barcelona, and when he was in the retreat in Barcelona, it was one shaman was running it, and there was another shaman there. These 2 guys are from Chile, and one of the guys came over at the end of the ceremony, and he'd said to the guy, "Oh, your singing was amazing." And the shaman said to him, "I will come to Scotland now, brother." So he comes back and he goes, "Mate, there's 2 shamans come from Scotland." Oh, that was another thing. I'd wanted to do ayahuasca. So I was going to go to Peru after I had a soul experience with the mushrooms. I wanted to go to Peru to do ayahuasca. And this same guy, he'd said to me, "I know a shaman from Colombia. I can get me flyer." So he flew over and I done ayahuasca with this guy. So this was the first shaman. And then next thing, he goes away to Barcelona. He said, "Oh, I've got another 2 shamans. I've come from Chile." I'm brilliant. So I had a great experience with ayahuasca. Done 3 or 4 nights of ayahuasca. And let me process through this pain and what's actually going on inside my mind. So these 2 shamans appear. My mate had this farm, this bit of land, so we ended up building a cabin on this land. And these shamans come. So when the shaman arrived, the guy was staying in my house, and I wasn't there. I don't know where I was travelling. And he'd say, so they were talking about me, and he was saying, whose house is that? And he said, "It was Paul's." And he said, "Who's Paul?" He said, "Oh, Paul's a fucking crazy cunt guy. He was in the jail and done for all these different things and that. But he's like a guru. He knows everything. He's travelled everywhere in the world, and he's got good guidance and that." And he said, "He's the bad guru." So that was the first time anybody had called me the bad guru. And then he was calling me it for a while. And then the following year, so a year later, so this shaman and these 2 guys, I ended up going travelling all about Scotland. These guys didn't even know them. Travelled about in a camper van. They wanted me to take them. They had a mission in the Ring of Brodgar in this stone circle up in Orkney. So I end up having this crazy experience with these guys and end up doing a ceremony with them in the Ring of Brodgar. And I was outside Space and Time, looking back in, and they start telling me about all these things that I have to turn up this way, and when you get power, you must not abuse it. You have to use it for the good of other people and service other people. and loads of this just crazy experiences. My life's like Lord of the Rings. Oh, what's the wee guy, Frodo Baggins? Oh, these shamans come from all over the world. And when they were saying to me, like, will you come and take us to this place? We've got this mission. I'm like, why me? Kieran, this guy, he's the spiritual guy and he's all that. I said, I thought it was him that you were here for. And they said, brother, it's you. It was always you. I was like, what the fuck's going on here? So anyway, these guys, so he gave us the name. I ended up going and having this crazy experience, and I've travelled the world with this guy. This guy's guided me. The guy guided me in the experience across Chile, and I met the devil and I met God. So, what was the next one? So a year later, this shaman comes, and in the summer solstice, we do this ceremony in the Ring of Brodgar, and this crazy stuff happens. So these guys go away. I do different retreats. I travel to Africa with them, South America, all over the world, and I run in retreats with these guys. Well, this one particular guy and the other guy sometimes. So then a year later, this guy Kieran phones me again. He says to me, brother, there's a guru from the Punjab in India, and he's travelling across the UK, and he said they're coming into Scotland, but they don't want to stay in the temples, the Gurdwaras. He said, I said to them, go up the farms, all right, will you serve them there? Because he was away travelling all the time. He says, all right, if they can come up, because we just used to chill up there. And I said, what do we need to do? And he said, well, get toilets and serve them. I said, what do you mean serve them? He said, help them build their camp. I said, and what am I going to get? What happens? He said, no, you can sit with their meditations and their prayers. And he said, he's a guru, so ask him if you can sit with him and ask him for guidance and that. So I said, aye, fine, no problem. So we're up there and we're up the farm this day, me and another wee guy, and we're just cutting the grass and all that for Kieran and getting the place ready for his guests to come. So I'm on the quad and I drive over the hill, and I just looked down the road to come up, and there's all these cars and vans and that coming up, like loads and loads of them, about 15, 20 motors. I'm like, fucking hell, many of these cuts are coming. Because we have to build everything and make sure they're all right. So the guy comes and I pulled in the quad, and the first car comes, and I know the guy, because he's the guy who came up and looked at it and seen it, and I said to him, park over there, and there's space there for you to park and all that. So this guy, and he said to us, say hello to the general. This guy's the general in the Hang Holy Warriors. So when I see this guy, 5 days before, I had a dream, and this guy was in my dream telling me to come to him. Crazy experience. I told my bird when I woke up in the morning, because I'd been waiting for guidance for an old man. I'd been through a process, and I said to my bird in the morning, the old man came to give me the guidance. She's like, what did he say? What did he say? I said, nothing. I seen him and he appeared, and he said, come to me, come to me. I was trying to get to him in the dream, and he kept on moving away. So this was 5 days before, and I go, and this guy says, say hello to the guru, the general in the Hang. And I just looked in, it's the same wee guy for the dream. So I'm like, what's happening here? So anyway, the guys stay for a weekend. And at the end of the weekend, I'm thinking, how do I get to talk to this guy? Because I'd made these products, and I gave him them because the guy had a sore leg and all that. But with a guru, you can't just go and, how you? Come here, can I get to talk to you? He's got armed guards. They stand outside his tent, they have a fire day and night. These guys are armed. So you have to just sit there when the guy comes out. So a couple of times I'm sitting there and try to get guidance, and he says, hello, that's it, pass by. So say the Monday morning or Sunday morning, the guys are leaving, so they're leaving at 6:30, getting packed up. So I'm up at 5 o'clock. The guys who broke my quad, they broke my trailer. So I have to go to another farm, honestly. Go to another farm, pick up another quad, another trailer, and then bring it there. So I'm serving the guys and driving, because just on the hope that this guy's going to give me this guidance, because I've been waiting for it for months, maybe 6 months. And so I'm thinking, I'm going to get guidance here. What's the next stage? And they're going away and they're going across the bridge. So I shout, can I get a picture? And the wee old guy turns around and he said, you tell everyone where to stand. This is your picture. So get everybody standing in that. I've got the picture. So the boy takes the picture and they all just start leaving. And I just turn around and the wee guy's just sitting there. Missing teeth and all that. It's wee mean guru. Small wee guy, a big turban on and a big cloak, a staff. And he's armed guards, these 2 big guards are there. And the guard says, the guru says you have a question for him. Ask it now. I said to him, you came to me in a dream? He said, yes. I said, do you have guidance for me? He said, yes. I said, can I have it? He said, yes. I said, well, let's go. He said to me, in this cabin here, your cabin, he said, we leave 1 tub of ghee. He said, you get this ghee and you make it into a candle. He said, you put a cotton in it, you put it in the window. He says, you light it and you come here morning and night. He said, and you say this mantra, and God will come to you. The mantra was Bade Guru, Bade Guru. Bad Guru was the mantra. That was how I knew this was the name this is the name I got. And I earned the name through searching all over the world and doing all these ceremonies, putting myself in through pain and trying to look inside my psyche and think, what is going on? Why am I doing this? Why did I turn up with violence every day? Why am I not happy? What is it that I'm missing? What do I need in life? And I done the process and crazy shit happened.
And you were guided to it. And as you said, it's always been you. You're born for it. And through my own experience, you invited me up to the farm. I know you host different types of retreats up there. This was a healing retreat. And as I've told you before, I've been on maybe 20 retreats, facilitated them, been on retreats myself. I've never experienced a retreat like this before. This was such a transformation. It was a 1-night retreat. We're staying in this cabin that you've built, and it looks onto it's just surrounded by beautiful nature. It's got a river that runs down the side of it. There's a forest. I was just told by Lorne, a shout out to Lorne, who's an up and coming podcaster. She told me there's a waterfall further down the back of the farm. I never got to see that. I'm sure I'll see it the next time. But on that retreat, I went in there. I never knew anybody. And I considered everybody there as family. It was such a great experience, a bond. And it makes you realise that all this stuff that's troubling you, all these wee things, none of it really matters. It doesn't matter. And when I came back for that retreat, I'll never forget it. I was gliding up that motorway in that car, the music on. Why was I worried about this shit? Why was I worried? And then when I went through the door to my mum's house, she said to me, Jim, you look about 12-year-old. You look about 12-year-old. I don't look 12 now, right enough. But at the time, I just felt like getting back into that inner child. But the whole experience, right, because I didn't really know what to expect. As I said, I'd been on all these different retreats. I've met loads of different characters. People that claim to be gurus, people that claim to be healers, people that are healers. But I've never, ever experienced anyone saying it's a choice. Everything's a choice. Right? He says to me, why are you feeling like that? And I was telling you a story about being angry or something. Why did you choose to be angry? And I thought, didn't he? Then I thought about it and I says, well, wait a minute, it is a choice. I'm blaming something in the outside, but it's my choice on how I respond to these things. So it's just meeting you and coming on that retreat, it was definitely changed my life. And I'm so grateful that you're inviting me back. I'd love to do so much. There's so much happening on there, right? But as I said, when you started teaching me this true wisdom and the choices, you also told me about it's a life-changing program. The Bad Guru, 12 Choices for Life. It's going to really transform generations, I feel, because I'm going through the healing process now, this program that you've set up. And I feel like at first I was like, oh, I don't like groups and stuff, but this was the condition. I do the program, you do the show. And I must say, it's massive. It's unbelievable. Can you talk me through the 12 choices?
Yep. This program can cure any mental health illness anybody's got. We change the physiology of your body. And choice 1, we change the hormonal expression of your body. So therefore, it's changing everything that's going on. Majority of people are in fight or flight mode. Because of the creation of this program, the society that we're in, it's fear-based. And if you're scared, you're easy to control. So your expression, your hormonal expression, majority of people, nearly every single person that I work with, I tell them to breathe. Show me how you breathe. People breathe into their chest. So you're in fight or flight mode all the time. Your hormonal expression is adrenaline and cortisol flowing through your body. It causes chronic stress, ages you, ages all your organs, ages your skin's an organ, so it makes people age quicker. And I tell people, I'll make you reverse the aging process. People are, what? You can reverse the aging process? I can do millions of things that can change this. But when you just do my breathing exercises, it switches the hormonal expression from adrenaline and cortisol to dopamine, serotonin and oxytocin. And then I put your body into a state of heal and repair. And just so simple, just by switching your breathing. Number 2, I'll tell you the 12 choices, you want to hear them?
Definitely, take me through it.
Number 1 is to breathe into your stomach. And so it's just a switch to control your diaphragm. And this change the whole physiology of your body, change everything about how you turn up every day. Number 2 is give yourself a high five in the mirror. Choice number 2, high five yourself in the mirror. You make a connection with the most important person in your life is you. Well, it's always only going to be you in life. And people will come and they'll walk parallel to you. And then they'll go on their own story. But somebody else will come and walk parallel to you, but it's always only you in life. Because I do these live shows, I do the Bad Guru live shows, but I sing, I tell jokes, tell all these stories, I bring people up, amazing people in the communities. You're doing the next one, because we're going to announce the Hydro this year. And people can join badguru.world and they can get pre-sale tickets. But if they want to go through a change, like you've been through, and I do this in every single seminar. When I finish a seminar, people come up and say, I feel drunk. But why do I feel drunk? And I say, because when I play the drum, I see my vibration I send through into the whole room, and my vibration won't lower to match yours or to match anybody else's. Yours raises to match mine because we share a consciousness. So I done a live show in the SWG3 last year, and I was the king. Oh, like you and your show, and I had all these people serve me, maybe about 30 people in my team. And when I turned up, all the people in the box office and the ticket office, who's the Bad Guru? And people, there's the Bad Guru, and getting pictures with us. There's that superstar.
I watched it, I loved it.
Yeah, you've seen the
video.
Footage, aye.
It's amazing.
So everybody's serving me. When I turned up, I'm trying to talk to people. Everyone, no, go to your change, go to your dressing room, do a meditation. Oh, you need to rest. And I'm like, fuck, he's talking about. I talk to the people, no, you need to rest, you need to do all this. So anyway, I do the show, and after the show, everybody brings me gifts and flowers and all that. But everybody's left, so we had an after party in Wonderbar. But everybody's gone, so it's only me and the security at the end, because I had to talk to everybody after the show. There's a big queue of people who want to talk to me and want to get pictures and that. So by the time I'm knackered at the end, and I go in and get a shower in the changing room and that, and I came out, and there was a security guy wanting to talk to me as well. He said, God, can you help my dad? My dad's struggling in that. So I'm like, no bother, mate. Give the number.
He just non-stop.
Aye.
You feel it?
Aye. So then he's like, mate, what are you going to do with all the bags? I said, I'm going to carry them, mate. He's like, where's your motor? I said, up the end of the street. He's like, do you want a horn? I said, nah, mate. So I grab all the bags and I'm walking up the street, SWG3. And I look in there's glass frontages on some of the places. And I look in the mirror and I just stop. And I see myself with the bags, and just me. And it was the most powerful lesson that whole time, even though I was a star and everybody get affected and I change everybody. The most important lesson for me out of that night was, when I seen myself, you have to walk up the road yourself, always, only you. You walk up the road yourself. And you have to carry your own bags. That's it. No matter how much you're a king and people serve you and how much you're a star you, no matter. At the end of the night, end of every day, you have to walk up the road yourself and you have to carry your own bags. So number 2, high five in the mirror, means that make a connection with that person in your life and love that person, because that's the person you travel through life with. And if you don't like that person, good luck with your life, because I hated that person. I liked the guy and I liked some things that he'd done, but I didn't like the other things. I didn't like the way he treated people, and I didn't like the mindset that he had. So change it and then love the guy in the mirror. High five every single morning. You've no idea what this changes when you do a high five. Connection, and you start to love the person in the mirror and start to smile. Then set an intention, we're going to have an amazing day. Because human beings, we don't understand the power we've got here. Human beings create their own reality. They create it. So if you set this intention in the morning, and if anybody watching this thinks this guy's full of shite, try it and see. Try it and see what happens. We'll do these 12 choices and try, and your life will change. So number 3, take time to meditate. You have to look inside and see who you are. There's nothing outside of you. You want me to tell you the story about God? About what the lesson
Yes.
told us? I've travelled across Chile and I had a big pile of mushrooms. I'll tell you the story because I met the devil first. So I done this ceremony and I way up on this hill. And I take this big pile of mushrooms and then I'm just sitting in this place and next thing I just see all this smoke coming, dark smoke. And I'm just looking and next thing, his face comes out. Not really an evil looking face, but menacing looking, like scary, a bit scary, but no, it wasn't as if it was trying to scare me. So it was like a dragon, but with a kind of human face and like scales and that. And he said, I'm the devil. Sitting there, I think, fucking hell, what's happening here? And he just starts telling me that, he said, start talking to me at first. And then he said to me, I'm the devil. He said to me about, you heard about me eating people's souls. You heard about me wanting to eat people's souls. Everybody's heard that story about the devil eats people's souls. He said, I'm the most powerful being here. I'm the original dragon. He said, this is my game that you're in, my game. He said, why would I want to eat people's souls if I'm the most powerful being here? I could eat everybody's soul. But then what would the point of that be? And I thought, makes sense. So he said to me, you have a programme? Let me hear it. And he starts saying to me, I know everything you've done for the time you came here, because you signed a contract to come here. I know everything you've done. I know about you manipulating people and using this and that and using your force. He said, about me, why I eat people's souls. He said, what about you mining weak souls and taking what you wanted out of them? He said, no more of that, or else I'll be coming to see you. So anyway, we go through this and he says, I see you've got a programme. Tell me about your programme. So I start talking, telling the devil. So I told the devil the 12 Choices programme. It was the craziest thing ever. And then he starts saying, may I write this? I wrote songs. No, I write all the songs and I write about this in my songs. I wrote a song called The Devil's Road. And he says to me, I'll give you some more lessons. He says, turn up with humility every day and start telling me listing these things. And then he said to us, there's an intention behind every act. Every single act that you do in your life, say there's an intention behind that. And if it's a pure intention, then the act is pure. And you get the reward for whatever the pure act. Because you get this, he says, you know what, do something for somebody else and you get the reward. He says, but if that act, the intention behind that act isn't pure, he says, well, you get something else back. So he said to me, always, always, always in the right way. He said, and if you live your life like that, you'll do well. So craziest thing, because you're thinking the devil, you want to fucking try and eat you or something like that. But he never came and gave me guidance. Gave me guidance, said, this is my game. This is my game and I'm the referee here. He said to me, I was talking about, this isn't right and we'll destroy that and all that. He said, He said, you do not concern yourself with destroying anything. This is my game. I'm the boss here. I'm the referee. Some people need to be controlled. Some people, this is their story that they came for. He said, so you concern yourself exclusively with creation. You'll do well. You'll do well. Just forget about destruction because this is my game. I control the game here with you. This was it. Other guidance and all that. So after that, he goes away and I'm just sitting here on this chair. What the fuck just happened?
Fuck's sake.
The maddest thing ever. And then I'm just sitting and I hear a voice and I just look up. There's this guy just sitting on a bench, this big massive guy. He has a big white robe on with gold, done, a big dressing gown and like a big white dressing gown. I'm just thinking, what the fuck's this now? He's like, hello? I said, hello. He said, I am God. I said, alright God. What are you doing? And he said, my name's Abraxas, call me Abraxas. I said, hello Abraxas. And he just said to me, why are you here? I said, what do you mean? And he just said, why are you here? Why did you come here? I said, what, to this? And he said, aye, why did you come here? I said, I met a shaman, and the shaman said to me, ready for the next stage of your training? I said, not about that, not about that. What are you looking for? Why did you come here? Why you travel the world doing all these different ceremonies? What do you need? What do you want? I said, I've got questions, about answers to about life and all that. And he said, right, so I'm God. Ask the questions. So I'm like, right, fucking yes, I'm going to get the answers to every single thing here. So I sit there and I go, right, let's think of a question. And I'm about to speak the question. And the answer came into my head. How am I asking that question? I already know the answer. So I think of another question and I go to speak it, and the answer just comes into my mind. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, what's happening here? Sitting in front of God, get this together, what's going on with your brain? I start asking a question so you can get the answers to what you're looking for. And I'm thinking, this goes on for 5 minutes. I'm like, what's happening here? So I just look up and he's laughing. He's just laughing. This guy just laughing, just looking at us. He says, don't you have any questions? I said, I've got millions. But every time I go to ask a question, every time I go to speak it, the answer comes into my mind. And he said, this is because all the answers are already inside you. There's nothing outside of you. All the answers for every question you've got for your life are inside of you. He said, so stop looking outside, look inside. Because everything's there that you need. This revelation. So take time to meditate. Because go inside there and you answer any questions I ask. Whenever I have a decision to make in my life, there's 3 things I do. I walk on it, I meditate on it, and I sleep on it. And the answer comes to me. Whatever decision I've got to make. So I spend the time, and maybe take 2 days or 3 days, I'll sleep on it. But eventually the answer comes, because all the answers to everything that you've got in your life are already inside you. Choice number 4 is get out in nature. I study Chinese medicine, and my teacher, he says to me, all your patients, every single patient, you have to get out for 2 hours a day, each day, to absorb the energy of the sky. Because Chinese medicine works and it cures people. And there's a philosophy that underpins Chinese medicine, is the philosophy of it. And the philosophy is that the human being is the conduit between the earth and the sky. And we are the conduit between the earth and the sky. The place is built for us. And if it cures people, well, that means the philosophy's right. And if the philosophy's that, well, that is the philosophy. So we're believing here that we're just evolved through all this monkeys and all that. This place is built for us. There's 3 parts to the human being. There's the top, that's for the sky. The middle part, it's with your organs, that's for the human being. And the bottom third is for the earth. And you have your bare feet on the earth. You can harness, I showed you this, taught you this, to harness the energy for the earth and the sky, and then put it in here for the human being. You showed me it, actually, and how real energy is. So a lot of people hear about energy, frequency, vibration, but they don't take it serious. And I always used to say to people, you think of the way you used to tune an old radio in, the wee button, and it would be looking for that frequency. It's the exact same, but you showed me an exercise or a practice. We were moving the energy around, right? And we both had the energy ball. I'm sure it was in the sauna. It was, And we were moving the energy ball, and you went, here, put my energy ball in my ears, and it fucking shot my horn away up. And I felt that. And it blew my mind. Because I can sit here and say, oh, I know energy's real, I know it's real, but I seen it. I felt it. It was fucking crazy, but it was so powerful. But no, I continue through the choices. Well, I started studying. I read a quote from Einstein one time, and it says, everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match your frequency with the frequency of that which you desire, and there is no alternative but you receive it. This is not science, this is physics. And then I read Tesla said, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency and vibration. So this is what they play. I seen the creation. God showed me the creation. all frequency, it's all vibration. I think everything's alive. There's a resonance. The earth, Mother Earth is a sentient being. She spoke to me in the ayahuasca ceremony and talked to me. We human beings can only perceive 0.0035% of the electromagnetic spectrum. So you imagine this is a ruler, a meter, and we can know even the thickness of your nail that we can perceive, and we believe we know everything about the universe. Come on, who's kidding who? So, what's the next one? Get out in nature, and that's it, because we are the conduit between earth and sky. The place is built for us. This is how I tell people, you're the creator of your existence. Or whatever you create, start to plant seeds metaphysically. You get it? The universal law, the law of cause and effect. Because people are stuck in a cycle. And if you do what you always do, you get what you always get. So make change in your life. Don't make excuses for your life, make changes. One of the universal law is the law of cause and effect. So if you change, you do something else, you get a different effect. And I study universal law. I live by these universal laws because we're all subject to universal law because we live in the universe, we exist here.
A great example. So I had to make changes recently before I came on your retreat. I cleared the table and I closed a door. And as I closed that fucking door, this other door opened right away. These new people that are all aligned with the same energy, the same fucking ideas. It's crazy. But I had to let that go. Or else I wouldn't have go at that new door. And it's such a powerful thing. But people need to actually see it to believe it. You know what I mean? Or sometimes they're so, the belief system in people is so wrong. The belief in themselves. They just get a wee taste of that. A wee taste of that energy, a wee slice of it. Then they will see and they will feel it. And then it will fucking transform their full lives. But taking me through these steps, it's amazing because you actually explain them all.
Aye. Number 5 is do something for someone else. If you're feeling bad in your life, you're feeling any low or whatever else, there's always somebody else that you can help. And seeing the act of helping people, every single morning I wake up and ask, how can I serve? How can I serve? Tell me what I need to do. Sometimes people's names will be whispered into my ear and I'll phone that person and they need me that day. And I just go and I help them, I serve them. And I'm the happiest guy you'll meet. Maybe there's happier people than me. But I'm so content every single day because I get to have an amazing life. I get to experience. I get to work with people every single day. Just yesterday, one of my team, Lauren, the girl you're talking about, she introduced me to a lady, Lilia Sinclair. She's wrote a book called Scotland's Wild Medicine. So all this stuff that I'm talking about, we can get all the medicine that we need from that grows wild, and people are there wanting to teach. So any sickness, anything at all, we can cure it. I work with people with cancer. You spoke to the guys. I work with people with cancer. I've got a protocol. So anybody that's got cancer, diabetes, Crohn's, any autoimmune disease, fibromyalgia, chronic arthritis, come and see us. Come, go to badguru.world. We've got people there that I work with every single day. We've got protocols to reverse these because autoimmune diseases are reversible. Everything's reversible. You've seen the boy I introduced you to the boy John when I was in Dubai and I was heading to Chile. My mate asked me, mate, can you come and meet this boy? And I said, I can only come and meet him if he's asked for me. And he said, look, he told him that you can cure cancer. I said, I can't cure nothing, mate. I can guide him and he can cure himself. So anyway, we go there, 9th of November, I meet this guy, tell him, get off your chair, lie down on the flare, do this, do that. There's a protocol, do the programme. By the 17th of January, guy's cancer's gone. And he texts me the message, bro, I don't know what to say. The cancer's in remission. Thank you. And I speak to the guys like, anything I can do for you. I say, nothing, mate. Go and live your life. Have an amazing time with your children. Oh, and if there's anything ever that we can do together, aye, we'll give a shout. But this is it. My job is just to tell people, the stuff that I had rang with me. I was always in pain. My joints were always sore. My back was always sore. Nothing. Nothing. I was up at 6 o'clock this morning with the dog, running along Clyde, run up hills, run through forests and that. And you just become so fit and healthy, but it's just taking care of yourself and understanding you're not getting any of this information on the NHS or anything because these doctors get paid to prescribe you pills to keep you sick. That's it. It's a business keeping you sick. We're here to keep you well. and that's it. Using Chinese medicine, using nature's medicine, using whatever. But if you don't believe it, well, good luck with what's going on. Eating 16 tablets fucking every 3
This
years.
is it. Everything's poison, even the foods. But as you said, the most important thing is the mind.
Yep.
Believing in it, because the mind transforms everything. You know, and it's such a powerful thing. I think when you're talking about energies and frequencies, I always use the law of attraction for a lot of my stuff on my healing journey. The law of attraction states whatever you seek is seeking you. And as you said, that has no choice but to align.
Yep.
Because it matches the energy, it matches the frequency. And it becomes, you know, it's such a powerful way to explain things. And this is living proof, because I always believed in this for the start, even from sitting in this chair. And now I have people like yourself, you know what I mean, coming from fucking gangster background, right? Crazy motherfucker. All that mad shit. Right? And I don't swear a lot, but I'm going to swear on this show. To be this guy, this guru, who's got this, as I say, this energy, this wisdom, this fucking healing energy. When you were coming to meetings with me in the Hilton, you were gifting me something light, but it was everybody that came along in the path. They were getting so uplifted. They were saying to me, he's a bad guru coming today. I says, he's not in the day. You know, but I wouldn't tell them your name.
Aye.
They only know you as the bad guru. But when they watch a show, everything will be revealed. But it's the name bad guru. It stops them in their tracks. But it's such a blessing for you to come for that, as I say, that fucking darkness. Right? You had all the money, all the power. But you just said empty inside. And now you've flipped it. And you said to me, a young Paul's coming. And I says, I thought you were young Paul. He says, no, I'm 45. And I says, no fucking danger. No way you're 45. But listen, continue on through the choices, because it's so fascinating.
Number 6 is look at and change your attitude. Well, if you come up to any problem in life, don't expect nothing else to change. You change. Because that's the only thing that you can ever change in life. No anybody else. Oh, make them do this or make them do that. No. You change your own attitude and then see what happens. Because when you make a change, the law of cause and effect, you change and you make a different decision, you get a different result. And that's it in life. Oh, change something, do something else, you'll get a different result. Number 7, to change anxiety to excitement. Millions of people suffer from anxiety with no need. Anxiety and excitement in a human being emits the same physiological response. So shortness of breath, start to sweat, you get this feeling in your stomach. Same for anxiety as is for excitement. What's the difference? It's what's going on inside your mind. So anxiety is a negative feedback loop where you perceive something that's negative, a negative outcome, and then the thought pattern just swamps you with that. Because I can remove myself from my body, I can look at my body, then I can remove myself behind my thoughts. And it's just like a screen. You just see its patterns like rain. And I can put another thought in there and change all these thought patterns. So if I can do that, then I teach people this practice. If you say you're driving, the driving test, oh, I'm so anxious, fucking hell, what if I do this, and what if I don't get this in, and what if I don't get that? You speak this out loud. I'm so excited about this, I'm so excited. Your ears hear that, process the information in a different part of your brain. And it switches that in your brain, says, oh, Jim's no anxious about this, he's excited. Changes the feedback loop to a positive feedback loop. Oh, wait, see where I'm going to go. I'm going to go to Loch Lomond. I'll be able to go to Braehead. I'll be able to go to Silverburn and buy this pair of trainees I'm looking for. This is it. Well, we can hack our own brains. And I'm just giving you a hack, a list of hacks, life hacks that I've went through all this 40 years, struggling with anxiety, with fear, with every single thing. Bang, turn up like a warrior every single day now. So change anxiety to excitement. You've got it. Number 8, love yourself. If you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody else in life. It's possible because you don't know what it is. You don't know what it is. If you don't love yourself unconditionally, you don't know what it is to love anybody else. I love every single person on this planet. I love every animal. I love everything because I love myself unconditionally. I understand we're all connected. We're all just part of the same family here having an experience. So there's 3 elements to a human being. There's the mind, the body and the spirit. The mind, to love yourself with your mind is remove news, remove these negative influences that you've got, negative people that's always trying to always bring you back. People want you to bevy or do all these things and you're trying to do something good. You want to go for a run, aye, you dick, fucking going for a run. But these people are there, they're bringing you down. because there's a law of vibration and everything's in motion. So people are either supporting you on your story or they're not supporting you and they're actively trying to sabotage you. And that's the only two ways. So somebody either loves you or they hate you. That's it. There isn't any middle ground. Oh no, but they do this. Bullshit. They either love you or they hate you. That's the law of vibration. So everything's in motion. So you're going motion that way, you're going motion that way. So that's the first element to the mind. Remove all these people. Just get them out. Get them out. Doesn't matter. They're not supporting you. They're not there. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. That's it. I love that. You're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. They're part of the problem. The body. Start to serve your body. Get exercise. Stop eating packets of anything because it's killing you. Every single thing. You're as well eating the toilet at McDonald's and eating the McDonald's. All these things that's in packets. They're products. They're no foods. So sometimes the thing to do in life is just to stop doing the things that's actually poisoning you. That's instead of, oh, I'm going to run a marathon, I'm going to do this, right? Just stop eating them. Don't drink that can of Coke and stop eating that. And then grow your own food. Oh, get chickens, eat their eggs. We grow food, as much food as I can, or else you can't get organic food. And I know people say, oh, organic's too dear. Grow it in your backyard garden then. Stop complaining about the price. And it will be a lot cheaper in the long run for what you're going to have to get. And then the spirit. Meditate, talk to yourself, make a connection with this person in here and start to love that person, because if you don't, the relationship you have with yourself underpins every other relationship you've got in your life. Well, that's the foundation. So if you don't like yourself, you don't like any other person, you're pretending. And if you don't love yourself, you're pretending, you're putting on an act and you're trying to, oh no, I know what love is. No, you fucking don't. If you've never played a game of football and you're not a football player, how do you know the rules of football? You can't teach somebody, can you? Or whatever, anything in life, if you don't know what it is, well, how can you teach somebody? And I know loads of people, they pretend every single day. I was pretending every day. And now I understand what it is, so love yourself. Number 9, always tell the truth. I wrote a song, and this is my next release, my next song. It's called Living a Lie. And all my life, I used to tell people, oh, I'm great, when I wasn't. I would tell them I was happy when I was sad. I would tell them I was calm when I was angry. Oh, everything, always. And that's to keep up the ego, because we build this persona that people see and that we keep there. No, I'm great. You're destroyed, so broken inside. But you keep up this bullshit facade. Oh, and everybody's perfect on Facebook. No, look at me, I'm looking great. People are empty, so empty inside. And just tell somebody the truth, and then somebody will understand how you're feeling and you'll get help. But if you bullshit, well, you'll be bullshitting the rest of your days and you'll be in turmoil inside yourself. And telling the truth won't get you many friends, but it'll get you the right friends. So you bullshit and you're kidding on with everybody, well, you get these weak bullshitters there. Oh, fraudsters, you attract other fraudsters, bullshitters, you get other bullshitters in your life. But you start telling the truth and you say to people, no, I stand for this. This is what I believe in. This is what I won't accept. This is what I will accept. All these people that are there just to trake and withdraw from you, they're gone. As you see the game, you say, no, you get that if you do this or if you do that. But other than that, tell the truth and you'll see what happens. When you start to tell the truth about, no, I'm feeling this way and I'm looking for healing, I'm looking for this, man, when the student's ready, the teacher arrives. This is exactly what happens in life. Always tell the truth, because what's the alternative is to lie. You tell a lie, you deem something into your future and then you're worried about that. You tell the truth, you put it into your past, because that's the truth. Nobody can argue with the truth. They might not like the truth. The truth hurts. It hurts for a reason, because it's the truth. And when you start telling the truth, you start telling the truth to yourself, and then you start really looking at yourself. And it's the only person you can ever look at in life and be able to do anything about is yourself. So number 9, always tell the truth. Number 10, gratitude. Be grateful for life. Every morning I wake up, first thing I do when I open my eyes, I say thank you. Second thing I do is I sit up and I've got a mirror there and I say, we're going to have an amazing day. You know what happens? I have amazing days every single day. Oh, I get to meet unbelievable people. I get to have amazing interactions. Look at this. I'm sitting in a studio having this, you asking me to come on. Oh, we just share something. So grateful for this. And then other people that's going to watch this, they're going to be so grateful, because we're going to give them these 12 choices for life and let them change their life if they choose. If they choose not to, it doesn't affect us. But we're grateful for the opportunity and to talk. So gratitude for life. Number 11, don't take yourself too seriously. You have to have a joke with everything in life. It's a game. The devil showed me the game. I wrote it in a song. The devil showed me his game and said, come, will you play? We all signed a contract to come here. Well, no, this physical thing, this is just a vehicle. You're the energy, the consciousness that enlivens this and that moves the body a bit and does all this. But we'll know this. So don't take yourself too serious, because it's a laugh. And if you're taking yourself too seriously, you struggle in life, because you'll be under, no, I need this to happen, I need that. I used to take myself so seriously. This person better not say this, because I'm this guy. Fucking honestly, so much hard work.
And that's music to my ears, because I love a carry on.
It's fun.
Laughter is the best frequency, because that's also contagious. You know what I mean? And infectious as well. It's just a beautiful thing to be able to make people fucking laugh. You actually done a comedy set on the retreat. I'm not going to mention what it was, but I thought it was amazing. Because you just hold that. You hold an audience the whole night. I consider myself as a showman, but I've never seen a fucking show like that before. The Bad Guru show. Aye. It's powerful, mate. It was powerful, but these steps, so I say what we're on, number 10?
No, we're on number 11
Number 11, sorry.
Oh, well, we're doing the Bad Guru live show. You'll be doing a creation in this in the Hydro. So if anybody wants to come and see this Bad Guru live show, it's spectacular.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Aye.
That'll be
cool.
Powerful.
Mm-hmm. So number 12 is believe in yourself. Believe in you. If you believe you can't do something, you're right. You're never going to be able to do something you believe you can't do. But if you believe you can do the same thing, you can do it. There's loads of plans I've got, and I believe and I know that I'm going to do it. I'm going to do these plans because I believe, and then I start to plant seeds. And I study universal law, and there's the law of inspired action. So you get a thought in your mind, anything, always remain a thought, unless you do something and put it into physical reality, because this is physical reality where we are. Underpinning all the religions and on the planet, there's the sacred masculine, the sacred feminine, and then the firstborn child, so God, Mary the Virgin, God, and then the firstborn child, Jesus. And this is the same as how you create your own reality in this place. So the sacred masculine is your mind, sacred feminine is your heart, and then the firstborn child is the action that you take. So if you want to do something, and try this as an exercise. This is what I do. Build something in your mind, what you want to create, what you want to build, what you want to achieve. Build it in your mind, see all the people there, and put some emotion into it, how you're going to feel. Feel the feeling that you do when you get this. So say it's me building, I don't know, a place for people to come and they run retreats, and I can see it, I can hear the people laughing, I can see all the goodness, and then bang, I go and dig a hole and I put a post in there, and I go and measure it. Then that starts to create the process, and that's it. It's simple. It's the way anybody can create their own reality. I'm going to be doing live shows in the Hydro. I'm going to travel around the world singing songs, guiding people, talking about this programme, and just having an amazing experience. You know why? Because I create it, build it, and that's it. Make myself into the guy that the frequency matches these situations. Simple.
It's so powerful because, like I said, it's a choice. You're not trying to tell people. So many out there claiming to be gurus, and they're telling them this is how it's done. This is the way you do it. You do it like I do it. You're saying it's a choice. You can choose this or you can choose that. You know what I mean? So choose wisely. That's all I will say. But I know you're also, as we said earlier, a very talented singer, right? And this is a mad story because I never told you this one. So you've got you showed me the music video for Wedding Cake.
Wedding Cake, aye.
We'll put it up on the screen, right, as we're talking about it. I was driving home the other night and I was listening to music. I'm sure it was on YouTube. But it was weird because I must have been listening to Wedding Cake on Spotify or something, and now sometimes it sticks on it.
Yep.
And it automatically came on near my speaker. I was just driving. It was no long. I think it was the day that we'd had the meeting.
Right.
I was driving up the motorway and Wedding Cake came on.
Aye.
And I just listened to it. I was just driving. I thought, fucking hell, man, this guy. You know, it's so powerful because you're singing about your life. And as I say, I've met a lot of people that come from these crazy backgrounds and I've never, ever seen such a fucking transformation. You know, because people don't understand it. But I do, because I see it. Because mine stems from pain, different types of pain and suffering, you know, but it's still suffering. And it all stems from that. You need to go to the bottom realms, right, to get to the fucking brightest of lights, you know, and that's a journey. But take me into the singing.
I didn't even think I could sing. I would never really sing. I would sing in the shower and stuff like that, but when I was in primary 6, I moved to a new school. I moved from Faithfully to Dalmuir, and people were joining the choir in my class, and I was just a new wee guy. So I went down to try and join the choir so I can meet and talk to the people in my class, and I'd do some other things with them. And I sang in front of everybody, and the music teacher says, "You're rubbish, don't come back. Go away, see you later." Says, "You can't sing, so don't come back." And that was it. And I just thought, can't sing. So start running these retreats maybe about 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. And in the retreats, people are just lying, chilling, and I play some music and I play the drum and different stuff. Sometimes the songs would come on and I would just sing the songs. And then ask people after the retreat the next day and say, "What do you like, what do you not like, and what would you change?" And people say, "We love the singing and love the talking." And I had a fear of public speaking. I'd been the best man 5 times. And I was so nervous doing these speeches. People were saying they loved the singing and they loved the talking. And it was the two things that I was averse to. I was scared to do. Scared to sing because I thought I was rotten. And then I was scared to public speak because everybody's got this fear of public speaking or standing up there because it's judgment, the fear of this. So I had to face these fears. And in doing that, I made a conscious decision to face every single fear I had. So for the past few years, anything I feel resistance towards, I would just go and do it. I even ended up staying in a nature's resort in Thailand for a week because everybody's scared. And that's the ultimate form of self-acceptance and self-love. So you can just walk about naked and you're open, you're bare. You are presenting yourself with nothing else. No barriers, no clothes to cover you, nothing. You just present yourself and that's who you are. And then what I realised in facing all these fears are strong medicine. So I go to these ceremonies, I go into the jungles and they say to me, "You're taking that," and I just go, "Fuck it, let's take it, let's try it and let's see what happens." But in the process of becoming fearless, because you face all your fears, you become fearless. And by proxy, you become limitless. Because what is the limits in your life is your fears. And every single fear, you know where all your power is? Behind them fears. This is why I walk about and I've got so much power, strength and whatever. I'm solid inside myself because I took all the fear back. I took all the power back for the fear. Behind every single fear is the power that the fear has over you. It controls you. And I think no chance having power on me. Bang, back in here. It expands you. You just become a solid individual because fear is no power over you. And then everybody gets some. This bit's how you deal with it then. And then I ask, what is this you're trying to tell me? Oh, because, you know, I travelled across Chile and I met the devil and I met God. But the lessons that they taught me weren't the most important lesson that I learned. I was driving with a shaman and we were driving a certain leg of the trip. And he's been in ceremonies with me and he said to me, "Brother, I see you in ceremonies and so much kindness and compassion you've got for everybody. You serve everybody and that's your intention. You're there and you're so present." He says, "But how do you talk to yourself? How do you talk to yourself? Talk to everybody else. Lovely." And he says, "I know how you talk to yourself. You're so tough on yourself. You're so hard. Fucking get this done. Do this, do that." And such a revelation that there's a wee kid inside each and every one of us. And this is a kid that emits the fears. So imagine this wee kid that's inside me, get beat up, scared all the time. You have to encourage this wee kid and you have to nurture this wee kid that's inside and give them the love that you're getting out, spreading to everybody else. Put it in here. When you start to put that love and that energy and everything inside here, it builds something, it makes something. And I don't ever chase nothing anymore. Don't chase anything at all in life. I attract it. Anything that I need in life, I attract it. I think about it. What do I need for the next stage of this? What do I need for the next stage of that? Bang, turns up. Because I don't chase, I don't spread my energy, I don't waste it, you know, anybody else. I took it back, put it all inside there. That's it. Nurture this wee child, and he becomes your friend. Oh, this wee kid. When I do something and it's something hard, and it's been a tough. Say I go away and travel, and it's been a tough time. I say thank you. Well done, me man.
It's so powerful because on the retreat, a moment that stood out for me, it was like a meditation we were all doing. We were all in our own thoughts, and I looked. It was a full moon that night, and I looked, and I could see this studio, this show, all these people that I meet, these incredible stories, and I was sitting in this chair, but I was 10-year-old. I was the wee guy again, sitting in this chair with all this creativity and these amazing feelings. You know, it's powerful, and I just thought, wow, that wee guy. That's what I ever wanted to do, was make people laugh. And but I was always told I was bad, or I was this, I was that, because I can never follow systems. Can never follow rules or regulations, because why should we? You know what I mean? It's gone against everything. My intuition was screaming at me. All of these stuff that we're forced into as kids, but to see myself sitting here, that wee guy with a blonde fringe, for blonde skinhead with this big blonde fringe, and it was madness. But it really, and then I felt like that wee guy, as I said to you when I was driving home. It's so powerful, right? But it's an absolute honour to be sitting here, having you on the show. We've covered so much, right? But before we finish up on this episode, if there's another message you could send out to the audience watching, now's the time.
We're trying to catch every single demographic. So I've got children's books that I'm writing. I've got a comic book that's coming out. We're making a cartoon. I'm training instructors for this programme. I've got these songs that I'm writing. I'm performing in the Armadillo in a show called It Was All a Dream. We've got the live shows we're going to launch in November. We've got 2 dates that we're going to do in the Hydro. We've got a charity that people have set up in my name, and we're going to do the charity launch. We run these retreats. We've got a private members club, so people that want to become and be trained, you're a member of the private members club, and you know the members in it. We've got a private members club that people can come and they can get this. And I'm through the private members club, you'll get access to retreats, but I also work with psychedelic researchers across the world. So psychedelics has been a huge part of me having to process what's in your mind and allow your mind to let go of a lot of situations. I've been granted, the company that I'm on the board of directors, we get granted a license to prescribe psychedelics in Thailand. So we're building all these systems so that people can get help. And people can, the path that I went, the road, we're going to make that you can go, you'll be supported. I'm training instructors across the world. But anybody, if you need help or you're struggling with anything in life, we're open sourcing this program. Just come on to badguru.world and get the program. Do the program, there'll be videos, I'll make videos. But this is achievable to anybody. I think of the life I had, the chaos that I was involved in, and somebody just gives you the guide. Anybody can change, but it's a choice. You have to choose it. The guy that I worked with the cancer, I said to him, you choose this today and the cancer's gone, because you set the intention and the cancer will be gone because you choose it, and then what you do is take steps towards it, and then your body just starts to heal itself. You go through the process. We tell people fast, do this, do that. Your body will process it and everything will be brand new. But every single thing in life is a choice. It's your choice. Whatever situation you're in right now, that's your choice to be in that situation. You want to change it, make a change. Any wee small change and you'll see a different result. You can only get a different outcome. Same earlier on, you do what you always do, you get what you always get. Do not make excuses in life, make changes, and watch your life explode into the destiny, because everybody's got a destiny. Well, your life's a mystery to be solved. This was God told me this, told me a whole process of it. That's so. That is, we almost done.
It's a very, very powerful message, mate. Right? And I want to thank you so much for coming on the show.
Absolute pleasure.
You're welcome back anytime. Right. I'm sure we'll do a part 2 in the future. I think we need to, but put it there. Thanks very much again, the Bad Guru himself.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure, my friend. And I'll see you very soon.
Perfect.
Thank you.
It's good, brother.
Tell the world I'm fine. even though I'm not. I ignore the whole world and then say I forgot. I laugh at all their jokes, and it's not funny. I stick it all on credit cards. I have no money. They say I'm calm, especially when I'm mad. Say I'm so happy, especially when I'm sad. I tell the world I've done the things, even though I've not. I lie and tell myself I won't get caught. I'm living a lie in a storm cloud of mine. It's raining here, I've nowhere left to go. I lost the truth under a broken rainbow. Can you please tell me why I'm living a lie? I scream my pain in silence, no one hears my cries. A dozen wailing banshees hidden behind my eyes. This liar's poison ivy choking off my breath. In this bed of deceit, I pray at night for death. Every step I take now in someone else's shoes. I even put my neck now in someone else's news. I cannot speak my words now, they don't belong to me. I hear the voice inside, the truth shall set you free. I'm living a lie in a storm cloud of mine. It's raining here, I've nowhere left to go. I lost the truth under a broken rainbow. Can you please tell me why I'm living a lie? Can you please tell me why I'm living a lie?